Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Sectional 8 Baseball on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating 25 years in business. You are also watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'd like to thank our other great Hamilton County Television sponsors, those being Noblesville Trophies, the Wofford Theater Outdoor Movie Events, Community Health, Church, Hiddle, and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, Indiana Restoration, and the Hamilton County Television calendar. Welcome to Dunker Field in the opening round of the 2018 Sectional Baseball Tournament for the boys, Class 4A. I'm Brad Silbert along with Perry Williams. We are just about ready to get underway here in just a moment. We're going to turn it over to Craig Atkins to introduce the players.
Team on the scoreboard. Let's first meet the non-starters, then the starters for each squad. Number 2, Jake Stout. 3, Rutger Pori. 6, Logan Duffy. 7, Zach Boyle. 13, Cole Graverson. 14, Nathan Goodsell. Number 20, Tyler Schweitzer. 23, Michael Dillon. 24, Sam Bachman. 28, Cam Bowling. Here are the starters for the Royals. Leading off and playing center field, 16, Anthony Eggers. Batting second in right field at number 4, Cole DeWale. Hitting third and playing first, number 19, Grayson Drosty. Batting fourth and playing first, number 12, playing second, Jacob Tabtari. Batting fifth and playing third base, 25, Brayton Harrison. Hitting sixth, the DH, number 5, Jake Houston. Batting seventh in left field, number 17, Matthew Buckingham. Hitting eighth, the shortstop, number 1, Jake Garcia. Batting ninth and catching, number 18, Caden Runo. He'll be hitting for the pitcher, actually the DH will be hitting for the pitcher, number 8, Carter Lohman. Head coach for Hamilton Southeastern is Scott Henson. And now let's meet the non-starters for the Carmel Greyhounds. Number 12, Braden Lentz. 13, Aiden Bradbury. 17, Drew Harding. 18, Kate Kentz. Number 19, Drew Kelly. 23, Tavick Simmons. 24, Ethan Pryor. 26, Logan Urbanowski. 31, Zach Vogt. 39, Michael Uhrig. Here are the starters for the Greyhounds. Leading off the center fielder, number 10, J.D. Rogers. Hitting second and playing shortstop, 27, Alex Brooks. Batting third, playing second base, number 7, Will Richter. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 44, Jack Vandermortel. Hitting fifth in left field, number 32, Jackson Adams. Batting sixth and playing right field, 22, Evan Petruzzi. Hitting seventh, the DH, number 5, Luke Barnes. Batting eighth and catching, 20, Tanner Simmons. Batting ninth and playing first base, number 28, Robbie Levine. And on the mound for Carmel, number 15, Drew Olson. Head coach for the Greyhounds is Matt Buchkowski.
It is a beautiful afternoon in Noblesville, Indiana, here at Dunker Field, Perry. It couldn't get any better than this. 83 degrees, a light wind out of the northeast at about 8 miles an hour, just enough to take some of the heat off. And we've got an exciting ball game coming up here. We got two teams that both have 12 wins during the regular season. Only difference between these is the Greyhounds played 2 less games. They are 12-13. Royals are 12-15.
Absolutely, Brad. One thing about it, they played each other on 4-9, April the 9th, and the Greyhounds won 6-4. But you and I both know you could throw that out the window right now. It's how you're playing now, and that was early in the season. Tonight, on the mound for the Greyhounds is Drew Olson. He's a junior. His ERA is 2.94, and he's won 4 and lost 2.
Got a total of 30 2/3 innings pitched. Got 21, given up 21 runs, of which 15 were earned. Walked 15 batters, struck out 33, so not a bad strikeout to walk ratio. But, of course, the other thing that happens to a lot of these teams, Perry, is the conferences are so loaded with games now. In the HCC, each team plays 3 times. In the MIC, they all play at least twice. So depending on when the 2 non-conference games occur, when the non-conference game occurs, really depends on what the strategy is among the coaches. Because a lot of the coaches, they like to play the non-conference games, but at the same time, they're saving their best pitching and et cetera for the conference games. And as everybody knows here in central Indiana, the Hoosier Crossroad Conference and the Metropolitan Interscholastic are 2 of the better conferences in the state of Indiana. And I know you and I are a little biased because of where we come from, but I think it's hard to beat the HCC as far as good quality baseball top to bottom. And it's one of those things where the teams just have a tendency to beat up on each other all season.
You know, and the one thing I guess Coach Keever mentioned in talking to him last week, the regular season is a marathon, and now you're in a sprint. That's just basically how it boils down to. Because if you lose one, you're done. Yeah,
you're done. Anthony Eggers, the first batter for the Royals. He took the first pitch for ball 1. Eggers, a .216 hitter. We've been in the softball mode the last several nights. And
this is a little different.
Yeah, the batting averages aren't quite as high. Swing and a miss by Eggers. That evens the count up at 1-1. Got a huge contingent of Carmel students here just to the left of the press box, so I'm sure you're going to hear them all evening.
Noise. Some is good, some is bad.
Yeah, Eggers fouls that one off. He's in the hole at 1-2. Eggers is leading off. The first 3 batters for the Royals will be Eggers, DeWale, and Grayson Drosty. Olson steps off the mound.
Eggers
steps out. A little bit of, shall we call it a little bit of mind game there to begin with. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. Way outside. In fact, catcher Simmons couldn't even get near that thing.
We should have called it like the old days when Bob Euchre called it at the top.
A little bit outside. Little outside.
I'll tell you what, this Dunker Field looks absolutely
it's
fabulous.
Fantastic. Beautiful field. That one's high. That runs the count to 3-2. Full count now on the leadoff batter, Anthony Eggers.
Brad, we got to make a little comment here about this view we got right here. This is
great view.
Center field camera view that you got here.
Swing and a miss by Eggers. He goes down swinging.
Something new for Hamilton County TV.
Well, we got a lot of people watching today on ihsaatv.org, on Hamilton County Television, and all the various social media. And it was suggested to us, rightfully so, let's try to get a center field camera in there. And through the assistance of Jim Wofford and Rick Vanderweilen, we've got it for you tonight. There's a ball that's hit to the left, the right fielder, Richter. Richter gets it over to Levine at first. 1 pitch for Cole DeWale, and he's punched out. So just the opposite situation in the first two batters. Eggers took him to a full count and struck out. DeWale came up there swinging and took the first pitch and grounded out. And that'll bring up first baseman Grayson Drosty.
First baseman number 19, Grayson Drosty.
One change you'll notice in the lineup for the Royals tonight, if you have been following them, Jack DeWolf is not in the game tonight. He broke a finger Monday in practice. So Caden Runo will be catching for the Royals tonight in his place.
Breaking a thumb is not a good thing for a catcher.
Not at all. Olson falls behind Drosty 2-0. Got a beautiful IHSAA sectional logo here right behind home plate. Beautiful field, beautiful day. Couple good ball teams. This ought to be a fun afternoon.
That
one is going to be picked up by the shortstop barehanded. I thought for sure that was going to get by for a hit, but Alex Brooks made a beautiful play to get Drosty first on the barehanded play. So in the top of the first for the Royals, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Celebrating over 25 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners specialize in that last-minute signage and banners, serving Noblesville and Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit their website at loganstreetsigns.com.
Well, let's set the defense for the Royals. Left to right, it'll be Matthew Buckingham in left field, Anthony Eggers in center, Cole DeWale in right. Third to first, Brayton Harrison at third, Jacob Daftari at short. Correction, that's not Jacob Daftari. That's, I got the wrong man there. That's Jake Garcia at short. Jacob Daftari is at second base. Grayson Drosty is at first. The battery is Carter Lohman and Caden Runo. And what have you got on young Mr. Lohman there, Perry? Have you got anything on him?
Absolutely,
handy?
I do. Yeah, I do. Right here. Carter Lohman comes in this game with a 5.97 ERA. He's 2-4 on the season. He's made 8 appearances and had 1 save. He's pitched 29.1 innings and has given up 28 hits and 29 runs and struck out 46. He is a Louisville commit.
I'm going to go down there to the Race City, to Churchill Downs. J.D. Rogers steps in. Hit right on the shoulder on that first pitch. That one had to hurt. So Rogers takes first on the first pitch of the game. That'll bring up Alex Brooks. Brooks playing shortstop tonight. Big 27 on his back in gold. Greyhounds in their white home uniforms with gold numerals. Royals in their royal blue and gray. That one's a little bit high from Lohman.
We have to adjust a little bit from, the way we called last night's game, because in girls softball there's a lot of slap hitting and a lot of squeezes. And
The 1-0 pitch, squares to bunt, took off with the play. Oh, my
goodness.
The Royals had J.D. Rogers dead to rights at second base. And Jake Garcia just could not make the play out there.
The Royals seem a little tight. I mean, Carter Lohman hitting the first batter and Garcia down there at short. Pretty well, it would have been a close call had he held on to the ball.
That one's going to pop foul and go out of play.
That's the worst thing that could happen to a player is pop up a bunt. That's a tough situation there. That makes a coach have nightmares,
Sure does. A ball and one ball, one strike. Squaring to bunt again. That one's going to go back foul.
1-2 on the batter, Alex Brooks.
Greyhounds with a runner in scoring position and no outs. Brooks, a .383 hitter. The 1-2 pitch from Lohman. Swing and a miss. So Brooks is retired on a swinging strikeout for the first out. That's got to give Lohman just a little bit more confidence, Perry.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, you are. You know, the Greyhounds bat .281 as a team this season, so not a bad hitting team.
No. Second baseman Will Rogers steps up to the plate. Nice curveball right over the outside corner, or rather the inside corner of the plate for strike one.
I'll tell you what, once Carter Lohman settles in, man, he's tough to beat.
Yeah, he's had a couple rocky starts, and if he can get beyond the first inning or two, that one's going to be taken by the shortstop Garcia, and he does make the play there for the second out.
So that's 2 outs.
Harrison was in pretty good position for that ball, but I think Garcia really had a better view of the way that ball was tailing off to the left, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, the third baseman, Jack Van Remortel. Boy, that's a name we've called in a lot of different sports, isn't it, Perry?
Yeah, certainly have. And he's a good one.
Yes, he is. Big boy. Look at that strength, though. First pitch from Lohman to Van Remortel is low for ball one.
Van Mortal's going to head to Michigan to further his baseball career.
Good baseball program up there in Ann Arbor.
Absolutely.
Count evens up at 1-1 on Remortel, Van Remortel.
I guess when you hit 397,
yeah,
you could probably get a place.
That gets a lot of attention, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? The 1-1 pitch, he swung and he went on that, missed.
I think it was one of those ones he'd like to have over again, Brad.
Yeah, I don't know if that ball bounced in or not, but Bruno made a nice save on it. It was very low.
But it was breaking away. It looked like a pretty good pitch, and then it just it fell
the bottom
out.
dropped out of it. The 1-2. Bouncer to short. Over to first. Remortel is retired. So at the end of one, there is no score. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Dunker Field, home of the Noblesville Millers. Tonight, right now, it's the home of the Carmel Greyhounds and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals here in the opening game of Sectional 8 of the IHSAA Class 4A baseball tournament. Let's quickly set the defense for the Greyhounds. Didn't get a chance to last time. Out in left field is Jackson Adams, center J.D. Rogers, right Evan Petruzzi, third base Jack Van Remortel, shortstop Alex Brooks, second baseman Will Richter, first baseman Robbie Levine. The battery is the pitcher Drew Olson. The catcher is Tanner Simmons. A very experienced group on the field today.
Absolutely.
Cleanup hitter Jacob Daftari steps in for the Royals. Daftari has been very solid out there at second base all season. Takes the first pitch low and outside for ball one. You just can't say enough about what a beautiful day it is here. That one hits the outside corner of the plate about belt high, evens up the count at 1-1. Love that center field camera.
Yes, it is great.
That one's outside. 2 balls and a strike on second baseman Daftari. That one's fouled off down the right side. Well out of play. It's a stadium of blue tonight. Some blue and gold and some blue and white. The 2-2 pitch. There's a pop-up. Right fielder Petruzzi gets under it and makes the play. I would imagine within the next 10 or 15 minutes we're going to have a lot more people in this stadium because most of the ball games normally start at 6 o'clock, but since we're playing 2 games tonight here in the sectional, they elected to start at 5:30. But most people, especially Hamilton County, we're used to the 6 o'clock start, so we might have a little bit of a late crowd coming in. Brayton Harrison, the third baseman, takes the first pitch for strike. Swing and a miss at a low fastball. 0-2 on Harrison. Harrison's a 196 batter. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Olson. That one's fouled off, out of play on the right. The ball retrieval kids are going to get a workout here tonight too, aren't they, Perry?
Yeah, certainly are.
0-2 on Brayton Harrison. There's a swing. That ball gets bobbled by the
safe at first.
Bobbled by the second baseman, Will Richter. We'll have to see whether they credit him with a hit or an error on that one. Going to give him a hit. Now I think they're changing their mind. What are they going to do here? They're going to call an error on the second baseman, Will Richter. If he would have just fielded, if he'd have fielded, he was right in front of it. So I think that's the right call. He should have made that play. So that brings up Jake Houston, designated hitter. Royals with 1 runner on first, 1 out, 1 on. 1-0 on Jake Houston.
Good
bouncing ball. Could be a double play. Will not be. I'm going to call that another error. This time it's an E6. So 2 errors in a row have put 2 runners on for the Royals. The Greyhounds should have been headed to the bench right now, Perry.
Certainly should have.
Matthew Buckingham steps to the plate, the left fielder. See if the Royals can take advantage of the breaks that they've been given here. This is something this season that they've had a tough time doing. They've had opportunities, have not been able to cash in on them. That one gets beyond the catcher, Simmons, and the runners are both in scoring position. I think that merits a pass ball, don't you agree?
Yeah.
I don't think that hit the ground. 1-0 on Buckingham. The Greyhounds are giving Buckingham all kinds of room in left center field. They're playing him shaded more toward the right. I think they're thinking that he's going to have a hard time catching up with Olson's fastball. Infield playing straight away. 1-0 to Buckingham. Called strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Royals with 1 out, 2 on. Trying to put the first score of the day on the board. That one almost got away from Simmons. He did a good job of getting over there. That was at least, I'd say, between a foot and 2 feet out of the zone, and Simmons did a great job of jumping over there and blocking it. Sacrificed his body with his chest protector.
Olsen seems to be having a little bit of problem this inning. He looked really sharp.
He cruised through the first inning, yeah. That one's over the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matthew Buckingham.
The Royals needs a fly ball to the outfield bad.
Yeah,
especially
sacrifice
right or
fly.
center. Yeah, right or center. Left field may be a little challenge unless he hits it deep.
There's a ground ball to short to second. That's going to score a run. But they do get the second out. So Harrison scores. Houston goes to third. Buckingham is retired, second to first. And that'll bring up the shortstop, number 1, Jake Garcia. Quite often you see shortstop has kind of gone back and forth this year for the Royals between Jake Stout and Jake Garcia. Both of them played quite a bit. So the Royals pick up the first run. No hits, though, courtesy of 2 errors on the Greyhounds. That one's high and outside to Garcia. Catcher Caden Runo on deck. That one's outside also.
It'll be very interesting going through this game. Runo being behind the plate tonight, not used to catching Cardi Lohman, which is a left-hander, and throws a lot of breaking stuff. So it'll be kind of an interesting time behind the plate.
It'll be a lot of pressure on him, but I think Caden will be up for it. 2 balls and a strike. Shortstop Jake Garcia, number 8 batter in Scott Henson's order. Foul ball back, evens up the count at 2-2. Jake Houston on third. Jake Garcia at the plate. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. High and outside, it's full count. Olsen has yet to walk a runner today. The full count pitch, that one is driven in there. That's going to score another run. A first hit of the game for the Royals is picked up by Jake Garcia. Second run of the game. Both of those runs will be unearned because of the errors. So Jake Garcia comes through with a 2-out base hit, picks up 1 RBI. And the Carmel coaching staff is coming out to have a word with Drew Olson and the rest of the staff here. While they're having a word, Perry, why don't we hear something from the IHSAA Champions Network?
Sounds good. You know every word to your school's fight song, but you can't remember your agent's last name? Let us know what you have and want to need. Find the local agent at infarmbureau.com. Your Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Tough situation here for Caden Runo. He's only got 4 at-bats in the varsity team this year. He's 0 for 4, but, as we said earlier, with the injury to Jack D. Wolf, he got elevated into the starting catcher position tonight. Swing and a foul straight back. Just got a little under that one. Good swing, though. 2 runs are in on 1 hit. Both those runs unearned because of the 2 Carmel errors here in the top of the second. Throw over to first. Garcia is back in plenty of time. Robbie Levine putting the tag on him over there for the Greyhounds. The 0-1 pitch. That one's just a little bit low. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, for the guy who just sailed through that first inning,
yeah,
1, 2, 3, Olson is he is struggling a little bit right now. But those 2 errors definitely, that's not his fault. They should have been on the bench. Another throw over. They've got him.
Wow. That's a nightmare for a coach.
They caught Garcia napping on that. So in the top of the second for the Royals, there were 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on the bases. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provide you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out on their website, noblesvilletrophies.com.
You know, both of these teams have had a little bit of a hard time scoring runs, Perry, and this is probably a big break for the Royals to at least get out to not a big lead, but a small lead here going into the bottom of the second inning, because they have done they've had to play from behind quite a bit during this season, and it certainly changes the way a pitcher looks at a game when he's got a 2-run edge.
Loman a bunch, because he's the kind of pitcher, if he gets in a groove, 2 runs is plenty for a guy with the experience like Carter Loman has.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If he's got all his stuff, which, he struggled a little bit early, but he settled down here. Let's see what he does this second inning here with the Greyhounds.
The 5, 6, and 7 batters will be coming up for the Greyhounds, that being Jackson Adams, Evan Petrucci, and Luke Barnes. Adams steps in at 232. Swing and a miss. He was going for State Road 32 on that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, a lot of those guys think that too, right?
There's a bouncing ball to short. Garcia tries to scoop it up. That's going to be an error on Jake Garcia. Both of the shortstops have made errors in this game already, and both of the, in the errors that the teams have made, especially the Greyhounds in the top of the second, it cost them big time, cost them 2 runs. So let's see if the Greyhounds can cash in on this one. I think Garcia just plain and simple took his eye off the ball on that one, because it was a hard hit ball and it didn't bounce or anything. Evan Petrucci, the right fielder, steps in.
He's batting .365, Brad, so he's a good hitter.
Yeah. Swing and a miss. He just totally misjudged that fastball, and he didn't swing on that ball until that thing was in Bruno's mitt.
And Petrucci, of his 19 hits this season, 7 of them have been doubles and 2 triples. So he's got some wheels.
Mm-hmm. Got some wheels and some power. Oh, and 1 on Petrucci. That one's a little high and outside. 1-1. No outs, 1 on for the Greyhounds. The 1-1 pitch. That one's outside. Lohman is standing right in the channels, or in the shadow of the light standards there. Over to first.
I was kind of wondering when he was going to go over there. But that's kind of just his, that was not one of his better moves. I mean, he's going to get him here in a minute. He'll make that quick step over there, that left hand.
There's a swing and a miss by Petrucci. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Both of his swings have been very, very good swings.
That may be why he's hitting .365.
Yeah. throws him with a curveball, struck him out looking. First out of the bottom of the second for the Greyhounds. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Luke Barnes.
Number 5, the DH, Luke Barnes.
He's batting 135, Brad.
Lohman was kind of looking over at first, but now Runo goes out. I think there may have been just a little bit of confusion on the signs there.
And it's best to stop and talk it over a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, especially when you've got a new catcher in there because
yeah, you're not always on the same page.
If DeWolf had not broken his thumb, he certainly would be catching today. And I don't mean that anything, derogatory.
Oh, absolutely.
Double play ball. One. Nope, won't get the second one. Daftari did a good job of picking that ball up and getting it over to Garcia to get the lead runner to get Adams at second. But they cannot get it back to first in time. That ball was hit, but it wasn't hit real hard. So Barnes officially reaches on a fielder's choice, and that'll bring up the catcher, Tanner Simmons.
Simmons batting .310 for the season.
They go from one end of the
spectrum to the other.
Yeah,
they got some great hitters, you know.
Throw over to first. Barnes is back in plenty of time.
Lohman, with 2 outs, Lohman, if he gets off too far,
he'll go for him. That one's a little bit high. I was a little bit surprised in that first inning that they didn't challenge the arm of Runo and try to steal. Foul ball back to the right. That makes it 1-1. Wouldn't it be nice if every day could be just like it was today?
Absolutely.
Oh,
I love this
has
weather. Just perfect.
Just been gorgeous. How many games did we sit through in our winter jackets?
Yeah. I used to always say that I've sat through more colder baseball games than I have football games,
Yeah, I think that's very true. I think we had one cold one out of Sheridan last fall, but other than that, we were pretty lucky.
Yeah.
The 2-1 pitch, that one's outside, 3-1 on the catcher Simmons.
When you brought up that time change here where everybody's used to do it one time, you remember that playoff over there at Sheridan? Those people showed up because Bud always starts a little bit later than most.
Strike 2 on the swing and miss by Simmons. Makes it a full count. Barnes will be off with the pitch. Simmons hoping to make some contact and drive the ball. He makes contact, but it goes off to the right over the Royals dugout. Well, if you're a baseball and softball junkie, Perry, this is your week for high school sports.
It's our week, too.
Wow.
10, 11 games?
Full count.
Oh, that's a base hit.
Yeah, that's going to go into the gap. That probably will score at least one run.
Wow, this is a big
And I've got to
field.
believe that Simmons is probably going to go for 3, and he will be in there with a 3-base hit. That ball went right into the right center field gap, split Eggers and DeWale, and there was no doubt when that thing left the bat that he was going to have at least 2 bases and possibly 3. Went all the way to the wall, and Luke Barnes just had he probably could have walked home.
Yeah.
So the Greyhounds get their first hit and their first run of the game, makes it a 2-1 game here now in the bottom of the second. The number 9 batter, the first baseman, Robbie Levine, steps in. Another run 90 feet down the bases. Do we have a courtesy runner out there, Perry? I didn't see if somebody went out there for Simmons or not.
I did not see that, but they may well be.
Probably
he's a
did.
Catcher.
I think that's 17 out there, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah, the courtesy runner is Drew Harding. One ball, one strike on the number 9 hitter, Rob Levine. The 1-1 pitch. That one hits the outside corner just about belt high.
Levine's batting .235 for the season.
And I'll bet he's looking at that pitch and say, send that same thing to me again and we'll tie this game up, because that was a good pitch to hit. Got it just about the same position. We got a fastball instead of a breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Robbie Levine. We're in the bottom of the second, 2-1 in favor of the Royals. Both teams scoring here in the second inning. Royals putting across 2 in the top of the inning. Greyhounds have put across 1 so far. That's a foul ball. No, it's a strikeout. Excuse me. It was ruled a strikeout, and the ball got beyond Caden Runo. Scott Henson asking the home plate umpire for an explanation. And with first base vacant, that means that ball had to go down to first to get the out. And the ball got far enough away from Runo that he could not get to it in time to either get it to first base or get it back home. And on the play, Tanner Simmons ends up scoring. So this game is all tied up. So the Royals are charged with an error on that play. Back to the top of the order for J.D. Rogers. Hot shot down the left side, right to the fence.
Did I ever tell you I don't like that rule? I just can't get by you striking out, and I know, but it's been that way for a long time.
Been that way ever since I can remember. 0-1 on Rogers. Now 0-2. I thought at first that was a foul ball, but apparently Levine did not make contact with that ball. The 0-2 pitch, that one gets away, and they call him for a swing and a miss. They call him for the strikeout. So in the inning for the Greyhounds, 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left on the bases. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be right back.
Superheroes come in all shapes and sizes. They don't always meet in an underground fortress. Sometimes they meet in places that appear to be very ordinary to most people. But inside, there are heroes in training. Some are smart, strong, or brave. Maybe they can build cities or heal people when they get hurt. But even superheroes need some help sometimes. With your support, we can change the world. Together, we are a force that can't be defeated. Support the club. Save the world. Support your local superheroes and donate now to the Boys and Girls Club of Noblesville at bgcni.org.
Welcome back to your Hamilton County Television and IHSAATV.org broadcast of Sectional 8 baseball. We've got the Carmel Greyhounds and the Hamilton Southeastern Royals here from Dunker Field in Noblesville, Indiana. You know, Perry, we are very blessed living here in Hamilton County that the baseball and softball facilities that these kids get to play on are second to none. They are absolutely fantastic.
We got to keep an eye on the pitching here. We're going in the third inning. Olson has thrown 34 pitches.
First pitch from Olson to Caden Runo, who was at bat when Jake Garcia got picked off, and the top of the second is a strike 1. That one's a little low and outside, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Sectional baseball action. First of 2 games today. Monday, we've got 3. What a way to spend Memorial Day.
Instead of playing 2, we're going to play 3. Base hit.
Caden Runo gets his first hit of his varsity career with the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Second hit of the day for the Royals.
Takes him to the back, to the top of the order here.
Back up to the top to Anthony Eggers, who struck out in the first inning. No action in either of the bullpens yet. I think you said that Olson going into the inning had 34 pitches.
Yeah, but when Carter comes out, Loman, he'll have 34. So
yeah.
And it's just important how fast the innings go, you know.
Eggers tried to bunt on that one, missed it for strike 1. Caden Runo on first. Anthony Eggers at the plate. Eggers squares the bunt again, throw over to first. Runo is back in plenty of time.
We're in the top of the 3rd inning here. Looks like the traffic's lining up out there, Brad, and I know that they're turning in to Hazel
they're all coming to see the game.
Because you think about it, it's about game time.
Yes, it is.
In our normal life.
That one's a little high and outside. Eggers ahead in the count, 2-1. Runo not getting too big of a lead over there at first. Throw back over, back in time. It's always nice to see, especially when sectional time comes around, you have a 3-man umpiring crew.
Yeah.
And pickoff plays in that are so much easier to pick up rather than having the 2-man crew. So Runo takes off for second. Here's the throw down. He's going to be in there easily. Simmons got a good throw down there, but it was wide to the right, and Richter had to take a step or 2 to his right. So Runo gets a stolen base. The count is at 2-1. So Runo is in scoring position with no outs. Eggers up there at 2-1. That one's high. Eggers squared to bunt, but got the bat back in plenty of time. 3-1 the count. Colda Whale on deck.
Just think it's odd that Coach Hinton didn't put a courtesy runner in for the catcher.
Runo is pretty fast.
Okay.
And there is no outs, too, so.
I'm sure if we get down to 2, he's
he may make that change, but Runo is quick. Look at him jumping out there at second base. You can just see him. And now he's gonna, they call the balk. So Runo totally disrupted Olson on his delivery.
Yeah, he was jumping out there.
You can credit that balk to Caden Runo. So Runo, in his first at bat in a sectional game, has a base hit, a stolen base, and a balk. I'll bet there aren't too many people that can say that.
Especially the balk.
Swing and a miss. Big swing by Eggers. I haven't seen too many balks called this season.
That was bad. I mean, that was an obvious one there.
Yeah, and he just he was just totally distracted by Caden Runo.
Yeah.
The 3-2 pitch to Eggers. He bounces that right up the middle. The ball is stopped going home. He's safe. He gets around the tag.
Wow.
That was a close play there at the plate. But Simmons, had he been able to swing around and swipe tag him, but he just did not get the tag on him in time. And the Royals get the run back, and Eggers reaches on a fielder's choice. So 1 run and 1 hit so far here for the Royals in the top of the 3rd. Colda Whale will step in next. DeWale bounced to the second baseman last time. Quick throw over to first. Eggers back in plenty of time. Olson's thrown over there several times already tonight.
I tell you what, that was headed up running to Runo.
Yeah, that was a good at bat for him. Gets a hit, steals a base, gets a balk, scores a run.
And you usually don't have a catcher that can do that.
Yeah. DeWale squaring to bunt. He puts a bunt right down in front of the plate. The only play they're going to have is to go to first. And DeWale came close to beating that out, but the sacrifice moves Anthony Eggers down to second. One out in the top of the third for the Royals. Another runner in scoring position. That brings up Grayson Drosty, who grounded to the shortstop his first time up in the first inning.
The first baseman, Grayson Drosty.
Levine still playing in, but now they're going to give Grayson Drosty an intentional pass. I guess when you're batting .386, that's probably not a bad idea. But the next batter, Jacob Daftari, who flew out to right field his first time up, he's batting, I believe, .329, Perry. So, gosh.
Pick your poison?
Yeah, pick your poison here. But from the standpoint of
you got to play the percentage.
Yeah, you got to play the percentage.
And it's a lot easier with men on first and second than it is with just one on second, you know.
First pitch to Daftari is outside for ball one.
And you also got to think, that it could possibly turn a double play here too.
Yeah, that's the whole strategy. Try to get out of this with a 4-6-3, 6-4-3, whatever. Daftari holds up his swing. He thought about it, but that one was just up at his eyes, called ball two. We'll have the Shamrocks and the Millers coming up here in probably about a little less than 2 hours.
Of course, we have a lot of information on them playing each other because they played 3 times.
Mm-hmm. And I think the Shamrocks won that series, if I remember right.
No, the Millers won. Millers won it 2-1, but
did the Millers
the
win
game they lost was, the game that Westfield won, Myers was pitching, and that's who's pitching for Westfield today. He'll be going against Mr. Plum.
3-0 on Daftari. Olson steps off the rubber. The 3-0 pitch, it's high and outside. So Daftari gets a walk on 4 pitches. That loads up the bases for Brayton Harrison, who reached on an error in the second inning. That's going to get some action down in the Greyhound bullpen. Looks like number 17, Drew Harding, is headed to the bullpen to loosen up. We're going to get a pinch runner here for Drosty.
Pinch running at second base.
That is number 13, Cole Graverson, going in to run for Drosty.
I think they're trying to get just a little bit more speed in there. Because that was the big reason I'm sure they walked Drosty, was because he's a pretty big boy and they could turn that double play as they hoped.
Mm-hmm. Brayton Harrison steps in, scored the first run for the Royals. One out. The bases are loaded. There's a foul ball back to the right.
Brad, who'd you say was warming up in the bullpen down there for?
I believe it is number 17, Drew Harding.
Okay, he's pitched 12.1 innings for the season. 0-1
on the Royals. That one gets Gets beyond. That was never touched. It was a swinging strike. And we're going to call that a wild pitch that Anthony Eggers scored on. Second run of the inning. I thought when that play transpired, Perry, I thought that Harrison had fouled that ball off, but he did not make contact with the ball. Did get called for the strike, so he's in the hole at 0-2.
But he got a run in.
But he's got two runners in scoring position now at second and third, courtesy of two walks. That one's outside and low. Olson's flew right through the first inning. First batter he faced in the second inning, got a fly out, then two consecutive errors set up the Royals to score 2 runs in the second. 1-2 count. Harrison calls for time.
Cars are still steadily flowing in here. Mm-hmm. Of course, we have youth baseball going on at Hazeldale Field of Dreams, too, right behind us. So.
Yep. That one's outside. Evens a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. We are in the top of the second. The Royals have already scored twice in this inning, threatening to put a couple more on the board here.
We're in the top of the third, Brad.
Correction. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
Nice play by the shortstop, Brooks, there. He took that bouncer, made sure that none of the runners were going anywhere, and threw out Harrison at first for the second out of the inning. Jake Houston, the designated hitter, steps in. He reached on an error in the second inning, scored the second Royals run. Harding, it looks like he is just about ready if they need him here.
I think they're going to try to get out of this inning with see what Houston does here.
Have to see what the pitch count does, too, because he's thrown a lot of pitches in this inning.
Yeah, he's up over 50, about 53, 54 pitches.
Yeah, he's already facing his 6th batter this inning, and he faced 5 last inning, or their 7th batter this inning. Houston sends a high fly ball, lazy fly ball towards center field. J.D. Rogers is under it. He gets it. He makes the out. So in the top of the third for the Royals, there were 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on the bases. Middle of the third, it's the Royals 4, the Carmel Greyhounds 2. You're watching Indiana High School basketball, rather, let's say baseball, on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Don't just hope you're covered in the event of an accident. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Hey, Brad. Wofford Theater movies are on the go. Free
yes,
movies
they are.
At Whitten Park last weekend in Fishers, presented by Saxony. And on June the 2nd, Despicable Me 3 will be playing. And then the free movies in Forest Park in Noblesville starts Friday, June the 1st, with the first movie being My Dog Skip. For the complete lineup in June, check out the WoffordTheater.com.
I'd like to thank our great Hamilton County television crew. Jim Wofford at the controls tonight. We got Lucas out there on one of the cameras. We got Will Wofford out there. We've got the Dean of High School Sports, Rick Vanderwallen, out there assisting us tonight to bring you these great pictures in this great game, either through IHSAATV.org or HamiltonCountyTelevision.org or one of the many, many social media that you can watch this game on. We're moving to the bottom of the third. Greyhounds will bring the 2, 3, and 4 batters up here, hoping to get 1 or 2 of these runs back. Swing and a miss, evens a count. Rather, I'm sorry, that's wrong. That's 0-2 now. Brooks struck out swinging in the first. Strikes out looking today on this one. First out of the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Will Richter.
The second baseman, Will Richter.
Richter popped out to the shortstop his first time up, giving him a lot of space in right center field. Squares the bunt, but pulls the bat back in time, but takes it for strike one. Second pitch to Richter. That one is hit right between the shortstop and the third baseman for a clean base hit for Will Richter. So the Greyhounds pick up their second hit of the day. That'll bring up cleanup hitter Jack Van Remortel. He bounced out to the shortstop his first time up. You know, if you're a pitcher, Perry, you don't want to see a guy like Van Remortel in the batter's
that's
box.
A beast out there, man.
His presence in that batter's box is immense.
Scary. Yes, it is.
Lohman took a low over at first and looked Richter back. There he goes trying to steal. Here's the throw from Runow. They're going to get him. They got him. What a great throw by Caden Runow. Caden Runow has stepped up his game, Perry, for a kid that probably before practice on Monday thought, I'll be on the bench.
Yeah.
He is in there. He has had a great game. Scored runs, got hits, got a runner out at second already. That was a great play.
How many coaches you hear today say, you got to be ready, that's the next man up, and that's exactly what he's done.
That is. 2-0 now on Jack Van Remortel. Correction, 1-1. I'm sorry. One and one on the Carmel triathlete. That one bounces in. 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jack Van Remortel. We're here in the bottom of the third. 2 outs. Nobody on. That one's a little bit low. Runs a count to 3 balls and 1 strike.
But Carter Lohman knows that he doesn't need to give Van Mortel any good, any pitches that he can put out of here.
Mm-hmm. That one's a little low. It gets away. Got beyond Runo. He scampers back to pick up that ball. Van Remortel, I think when he was going down to first, he didn't really hustle down there, but he didn't take his time taking the base.
I think he knows his abilities, and I don't think he was even thinking about going to.
Well, I think the other thing he was thinking too, Perry, and it's probably a good thought on Jack's part, is you got Jackson Adams coming up right behind you. Give him a chance to bat you in.
Yep.
Adams was called out on strikes in the second inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1 for Adams. Adams, a left fielder. Correction, I'm sorry, he reached on an error in the second inning.
Right.
And then was
forced out
at second on the front end of an attempted double play. 0-1. That one's a little bit low. The 1-1 pitch coming. That one's a little bit inside. 2 balls and a strike on left fielder Jackson Adams. Two outs in the bottom of the third. There's a swing and a miss at a high fastball. That high fastball is a tough one to lay off of. Harding is no longer throwing in the Carmel bullpen. Not sure what that means, though. Swing and a miss again. He is out. So at the end of 3, it is the Carmel Greyhounds 4, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals 2. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be right back.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting.
Community Health Network. Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or ecommunity.com.
We've got the 12 and 13 Carmel Greyhounds taking on the 12 and 15 Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Royals with a 2-run lead going here into the top of the 4th.
Olson back out there. He's throwing 55 pitches, Brad.
Just looking to see if he came back out because Harding had been warming up down there in the bullpen, and I wondered if he was just going to come in or if he's, well, with a warm day like this, he's probably ready either way. Matthew Buckingham steps in for the Royals here to start out the top of the 4th. The 7, 8, 9 batters will come to the plate for Scott Henson and his crew. First pitch to Buckingham is a little bit low for ball 1. Buckingham grounded out to second in the 2nd inning. There's a ground ball to short. Nice scoop there. Great scoop there by Alex Brooks to get it over to Robbie Levine to retire Buckingham for the first out of the top of the 4th. Got to give Brooks credit. He had good range on that. I was wondering if he might be able to get to that or not. Brooks' counterpart, Jake Garcia, steps in. Going to be more action down there in the Greyhound bullpen. Well, let's see. They walk down there, but they're not throwing. Drew Harding is down there. I saw Harding go down there with a catcher and a coach and a.
He's probably just going to sit down there right now.
Yeah. Garcia had a base hit in the 2nd inning, but then was picked off to end the 2nd inning. One and 0. Big swing and a miss for Garcia. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 4th. Royals ahead 4-2. That one's a little low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Another swing and a miss by Garcia.
Brad, I want to thank all our viewers out there, whether you're watching it on the IHSATV.org or HTTV1.com or Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or Periscope, whatever way you want to.
Umpire called timeout on that play. I'm not sure if Garcia called time or if the umpire just called time, but
I think the coach who came out and talked to, stood right there at the edge to talk to Olson. I think he was telling him go ahead and throw. I mean, even though they got timeout, because nothing can hurt an arm any worse than
because he
you're
was
right in the middle of a throw, and I think that's a question everybody's got.
Well, and the umpire called the timeout, but Olson was at a point where he was not
watching.
Yeah, and he delivered. He was just starting to deliver the ball, and all of a sudden, when you don't, like you say, when you don't let loose of that ball, that you can really get yourself injured. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. Jake Garcia at the plate for the Royals. That one's inside, works it to a full count. Got to say, our home plate umpire today has had a very true strike zone so far.
He's pretty consistent.
Been consistent. And there's a pop-up. That's going to be in foul territory. Levine is going after it. Will he get there? He does. It bounces just in front of the fence, and I think Levine stopped because I think he thought he might crash into the fence.
Yeah, but that right there that's the job of the catcher right there. He ought to be yelling loud.
Yeah.
Fence, 3 feet away, 5 foot away.
Yep. Yeah, had Levine not slowed down, he probably would have had a play on that ball because it was within in the stadium. That's ball 4 on Jake Garcia, so he is on base.
That was a very good bat for Garcia, really. He really worked the count.
That'll bring up the catcher, Caden Runo. Runo led off the 3rd with a base hit. Got a stolen base, balked over to 3rd, and then scored on a wild pitch. Did he score on a wild pitch or a hit?
No, it was a.
Oh, it was an infield out.
Yeah,
that's correct. Runo out to bunt. Nice bunt. Good bunt. He could beat that out.
He did.
He did. That pulled the first baseman, or rather it was Levine got pulled off the bag by the throw. We'll have to see. They are calling that an error. So that will be a throwing error. Simmons fielded that ball, and
what happened?
I'm not sure what happened here. The initial call was that he had beat it out. Because he clearly beat the throw because the first baseman, Levine, was at least 2 feet in the air trying to catch the ball. Now the umpires are meeting to discuss it. I'm not sure which of the umpires called him out. And it didn't appear to me that he made the turn. But I wasn't paying that much attention to it. I just thought he was safe. So we'll have to see what they're going to do here.
I'm not sure they're done yet here.
No, the Carmel coaching staff is talking to the home plate umpire. First base umpire is talking to one of the Hamilton Southeastern coaches. The only thing I can figure out, and I did not see it happen, Barry, is that
towards
yeah,
second.
Yeah,
that's the only question I think it is.
And I've got to believe that that's what the call is because he clearly was at first, and Levine was off the bag. I don't think anybody up here in the press box knows for sure what has happened here.
I don't believe they do out on the field either from the way they're.
Because the discussion was charging the catcher Simmons with an error on the throw because the throw went high. But so far, Runo has not come back out on the bases.
And hadn't even.
And Anthony Eggers is coming up to the plate. There's still a discussion going on here, Perry. I don't think that there was, I don't believe there was any kind of interference or anything like that. So it looks like Runo is going to be ruled out at first base.
Well, let's get in a quick commercial here until they figure out what they're doing. You know every word to your school's fight song, but you can't remember your agent's last name. Let us know what you have and what you need. Find out your local agent at infarmbureau.com. Your Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Well, the rumor we're hearing up here in the press box now is that he was inside the baseline. So that would erase the error, and that would be called runner interference for the second out. Purely a rumor. We'll try to see if we can get somebody downstairs to give us an official ruling on that. And I think maybe what the Carmel coaches were complaining about was the fact that Jake Garcia ended up on second base.
Oh my!
He was picked off.
Yeah.
And the second baseman Richter, rather the shortstop Brooks, dropped the ball.
He had him like a set.
That would have been the second time that Garcia would have been picked off. So there are 2 outs now here in the top of the 4th, top of the order up now. Anthony Eggers finally gets a pitch after about a 10-minute delay here.
Kind of probably forgets how to bat now, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. I see Tony Euler down there by the Royals dugout. Maybe when Tony comes up, he can give us an explanation of what happened on that play.
He'll have all the facts.
He'll know. Just the facts, man. Just the facts.
Tony. Brad, that center field cam is pretty cool out there tonight. Something new that we're doing. And looks pretty good out there. This is run out there wirelessly, too. We're getting high tech, you know what?
Yes, we are.
Let us know what you think about that center field cam, because this is the first time we've used it. They use it a lot in Major League Baseball, but
the 1-0 pitch, high pop-up, lazy fly out there to left field. Jackson Adams finally takes it in foul territory for the third out. So, after a little bit of a delay there, in the top of the 4th for the Royals, there was no run, there was 1 hit. There were no errors, there was 1 left on the bases. We're through 3.5 the score. The Royals 4, the Carmel Greyhounds 2. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
From personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases, Church Inland Anthem protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Maryville, and Tipton. You can contact them at their Noblesville office, 317-773-5320.
Say, fans, don't just hope that you're covered in the event of an accident. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Hopefully we're going to see the smiling face of Tony Euler come up here in a minute or two and maybe try to give us an explanation of what happened there. But what we are surmising now is that Runo was charged with running inside of the foul line, which, if he did, he should have legitimately been out. We're going to the bottom of the 4th for the Greyhounds. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters will be coming to the plate. That'll be Evan Petruzzi, Luke Barnes, and Tanner Simmons.
Petruzzi struck out the last time up, but he's a 365 hitter.
First pitch to Petruzzi. He drives that one down and over the left field bullpen for a long strike one. Second pitch to Petruzzi. He's in there, swing and a miss, 0-2. Carter Lohman in his fourth inning of work. The 0-2 pitch, a little bit high. One, two. Fouls that one off. It's barely kept alive. One ball, two strikes on the right fielder, Evan Petruzzi. Giving him a lot of room in right center field, Perry. A lot of room right up the middle, too, in the infield. Did he go or not? No appeal. So. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Looked like from here he checked in plenty of time. That one goes over the head of Petruzzi, makes it a full count.
Almost hit his bat on the backside.
Yeah. Heck of a way to get a foul ball if you get it that way. Full count pitch to Petruzzi. That one's outside. And the Greyhounds once again have got the leadoff runner on base here in the bottom of the fourth. Three of the 4 innings that the Greyhounds have come up, they put the leadoff batter on base. Barnes reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Ended up scoring the first run for the Greyhounds in the second inning. That one's outside. Tyler Schweitzer is going down to the bullpen to loosen up for the Royals. That brings Coach Scott Henson out.
Just buying a little time here to make sure that.
Pitch count mounting up on both of these pitchers.
Romans with 57 pitches.
I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight on the IHSAA TV.org network, the Hamilton County Television Network, HCTV1 or HamiltonCountyTelevision.com, or one of the many, many social media that you can watch these games on. We appreciate you watching us and glad to have you along with us here on a beautiful Wednesday night. Throw over to first. Petruzzi back in plenty of time. Schweitzer is warming up down there, but it doesn't look like what you would call a urgent warm-up, Perry. Another throw over to first. Petruzzi was back in plenty of time. Not getting a real big lead off.
Schweitzer hasn't. Yeah, I guess
Foul ball straight back, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs, a runner on first. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Royals are ahead 4-2. Lohman sets. Hot shot right over Jake Garcia. That one's going all to the wall, all the way to the wall. That one is going to score at least 1 run. They're going to try to make it into a triple. The ball gets away, and he's going to end up – no, he's not going to end up scoring. The ball did not go into the dugout. But credit Luke Barnes with a 3-base hit and 1 RBI. Evan Petruzzi scores on the play. That ball was a rocket that was maybe a couple feet above the mitt of Jake Garcia at shortstop. But that thing went all the way to the wall there in deep left center field. So 1 run, 1 hit so far for the Greyhounds here in the bottom of the 4th, and they're within 1 at 4-3. Third hit of the day for the Greyhounds.
And Mr. Tanner Simmons is coming to the plate, and he hit a triple the last time when he was at bat.
Mm-hmm. Scored the second run of the game for the Greyhounds. Well, he didn't score it. Drew Harding scored it as his courtesy run. No outs, a runner on third. Bouncing ball
Fair
over
ball.
the third baseman. Fair ball, Brayton Harrison. That's going to go for at least 2. And Simmons slides into second with a double.
Wow, he's got a double and a triple here. We could see a cycle here.
Yeah, another run for the Greyhounds, and this game is all tied up again at 4-4. And that'll bring Drew Harding back in as the courtesy runner for Simmons at second base and bring Robbie Levine to the plate. He struck out, reached base on a passed ball his last time up.
Well, we got us a tie ball game here again, Brad.
This one's just going seesawing back and forth, Perry. There's a nice bunt right out in front there. Lohman takes it, gets it over to first. And on the play, Drew Harding takes third. First out of the inning. Back to the top of the order. That'll bring J.D. Rogers up. He's been hit by a pitch in the first inning.
And then struck out.
Struck out swinging in the second inning. 1 out, 1 on at third. That one's a little bit high. 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes on Rogers. There's a nice fastball, knee high on the outside corner of the plate. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. We are tied here in the bottom of the 4th with 1 out. Greyhounds trying to put some more runs across here and take the lead back from the Royals. Timeout is called. There's a foul ball back into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the leadoff batter, J.D. Rogers, the center fielder today.
Hey, Butch.
The 1-2 pitch. Nice curveball. Must have been the 1 pitch. I had him at 1-2. He is out. That was 1-2. Yeah. So the call, we were right on the call. Everybody in the field thought it was strike 2, but in reality it was strike 3. And J.D. Rogers strikes out, looking. Alex Brooks, the shortstop, steps in. He's struck out twice so far today. Outside for ball 1. I think that's a case in that last play where nobody realized it was strike 3 until the umpires looked down at their pitch counter. Good block there by Runo. That ball gets by him, and the Greyhounds have got the lead.
I see Schweitzer's no longer warming up now.
Yeah, and Carter Rutger Pori was warming up down there. Bouncing ball. Will the Royals be able to make the play?
Oh.
So the run scores. On the way to second, there will be no play. So we'll have to see how that is scored. The Greyhounds do get their third run of the night.
Of the inning.
Yeah, excuse me, third run of the inning, fifth run of the night. So they're scoring that. They're scoring that an error all the way. Error on the throw. So that's going to be an E4. Royals cannot stop the bleeding here. Another runner in scoring position for the Greyhounds. Alex Brooks at second base.
Nice.
There's
bunt.
a beautiful
that could be
bunt.
trouble.
That one gets by.
He's going to third. No.
So we will give Richter a base hit on that. Plus, we will give the Royals an error on the throw, an error on the third baseman. So another hit, another run, and another error. The second error of the inning for the Royals. That's a total of 3 errors for them now. So the Greyhounds have got 4 runs on 3 hits so far this inning. And that's going to be enough for Scott Henson's team, and he's calling on Rutger Pori to take over. Fans, you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Smith Jewelers has been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, Carmel, for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer would be our outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. The knowledgeable staff at Smith's Jewelers is eager to give our customers a memorable, positive experience. You can contact them at 317-773-3383.
So that's going to finish the day for Carter Lohman. Lohman will have responsibility for Will Richter out there at second base. So officially, he's given up 6 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors so far for the Royals. Now they're putting another error up there, so 4 errors for the Royals. And that'll bring in Carter Pori. The name Pori should be familiar to Hamilton Southeastern fans.
Yeah, he's pitched 37 innings.
I said Carter. I should have said Rutger Pori. Older brother is Carter Pori.
Right. Innings pitched. He's pitched 37 innings this season. He's a senior. Giving up 37 hits, 42 strikeouts, 20 runs, and 11 base on balls.
Jack Van Remortel steps in. 8th batter to bat in the bottom of the 4th here for the Greyhounds. Got a walk and a ground out so far in this game.
Is this the last Pori?
I believe so. Right over the outside corner at the knees, evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. We're 2 outs. We are in the bottom of the 4th. The Greyhounds have already scored 4 runs in this inning. Van Remortel looking to put the ball in play. Got a big gap out there in right center field once again. Big swing and a miss. Van Remortel goes down on strike. So in the inning for the Greyhounds, 4 runs, 3 hits. 3 errors for the Royals, 1 left on base. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be back after this.
Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street signs and banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street signs and banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street signs and banners conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street and
Welcome back to beautiful Don Dunker Field here on the campus of Hazeldale Elementary School. About halfway between Noblesville and Westfield here, right off of State Road 32. It is a gorgeous afternoon for baseball here.
A lot of people in the stands, a lot of people standing along the fence everywhere. Just
Drew Olson back on the mound for the fifth inning. Greyhounds brought the bats out. Royals helped them out with a few errors there in the fourth inning, Perry, and they scored 4 runs to take a 6-4 lead in this game. Cole DeWale will be the first batter for the Royals. The Royals will send the 2, 3, and 4 batters up here in the fifth. I've got to believe that Olson, right at this point, is probably on a fairly short leash. If he gets in any trouble, I've got to believe that they're going to lift him. Any trouble, or maybe even on a pitch count, Perry.
he's at 68 right now, Brad. So.
Bouncing ball, is that going to go in there to deep short? That was a mistake to throw that ball by the shortstop Brooks. He should have just held on to it because DeWale had a base hit made. I mean, he was 10 feet beyond that bag before that ball got there, and a bad throw would have definitely put DeWale on second base. So the Royals pick up their 4th hit of the day. That brings up Grayson Drosty. Drosty has bounced to the shortstop and took an intentional walk in the 3rd. First pitch to Drosty, a curveball.
Good pitch.
Drops right over the heart of the plate. I think Drosty was figuring that ball was going to come right up at his shoulders, and the bottom really dropped out of that for a very, very nice pitch by Drew Olson. 0-1. That one's driven into center field, and Cole DeWale took off with the pitch, and he ends up on third base. So two batters, 2 hits so far for the Royals here in the top of the 5th. And we're seeing some more action down there in the Greyhound bullpen. That's number 17, Drew Harding, going down there to loosen up. This is the 3rd time he's gone down to loosen up.
Man, he's going to have all his pitches done before he gets to the mound.
Jacob Daftari, the second baseman, steps in. Flew out to right and reached on a walk in the 3rd. No outs, 2 on for the Royals. The runners are on the corners. There's a nice pitch, and a steal attempt, and oh my. Drosty just managed to get in there just in time. That slap tag almost had him.
That's a good throw. You know, I saw that one time happen, Brad, on a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, and I was at Detroit watching the Tigers play in the old stadium, and the pitcher went down there and warmed up for about 3 or 4 innings, and by the time he got to the mound, he could throw a strike.
Too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes on Jacob Daftari. The Royals have got the tying runs in scoring position with no outs. Olson taking his time. The pitch to Daftari is high for ball 2.
These are important runs for the Royals on base right now.
I don't think the Royals ever expected a throw through to second base on Drosty running. I think that they thought that ball would either go back to the pitcher or be cut off because of DeWale over there on third. As it turns out, if DeWale had taken off with the pitch, he probably would have scored.
Yeah.
or taken off with the throw. 1-2 on Jacob Daftari. That's fouled off to the left. He just managed to get enough of that to stay alive. I thought he was going to be taking some bench after that ball.
Hey, Brad, we got us another game after this one.
Hey, we do. Why don't you stick around? You want to stick around for
I
it?
think I'll stick around.
I think I'll stay too.
Noblesville versus Westfield.
1-2. That one's high and outside. Evens a count on Daftari at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, both of these games today, we got 2 games where the teams are fairly evenly matched. There's a high fly ball to center field. J.D. Rogers is going back. Both runners tag, heading for third. He's in there. And on the play, Coldy Whale scores on the sacrifice fly, and Grayson Drosty moves over to third. Good running on the part of Drosty to get over to third also, Perry. He's done a good job moving up.
Yep.
1 down, 1 left on the bases, but the Royals do get a run out of that off of 2 hits so far in this inning. Brayton Harrison steps in. He's reached on an error and grounded to shortstop.
6-5 our score. The Greyhounds are leading. But the Royals are threatening.
Until the last inning, the Royals had never trailed in this game. They're down by 2. They were down by 2 at the beginning of the inning. Only down by 1 right now.
Here we may see a change here. He's right around 80 pitches. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're probably most definitely going to see a change here. Let's see what happens if the call to the bullpen goes out. Olson is either he's either been one extreme or another in this game this afternoon, Perry. He's either been really good or or been missing on a lot of pitches, and it doesn't seem like he hasn't been that consistent. Olson is going to stay in there.
A little surprised me.
Mm-hmm. So setting it up, you got Grayson Drosty on third, 1 out in the inning. Brayton Harrison, who's reached on an error and grounded to short.
But he might want to try to get him through this 5th, I think maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the I tried.
I don't
to do
know what
much,
kind of pitching they
have.
have.
I didn't get a whole lot of research on Carmel.
Mr. Euler.
Perry, we were right. Tony Euler has just confirmed on that play with Caden Runo. He was ruled out because he was inside of the baseline. And I think what the conversation with the Carmel Greyhounds is why did the runner end up on second? Because I think they were claiming that should be a dead ball play. But anyways, that is what actually happened there, and we're glad to know that. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brayton Harrison. 1 out. Top of the 5th. Royals with a runner on third and scoring position. Harrison either hoping for a hit or a long fly ball. The outfield is playing fairly shallow on Harrison. That one's outside, evens a count at 2-2. Harding continues to throw down there in the Greyhound bullpen, and he is throwing hard. He's ready. The 2-2, ground ball to the
right through
the second baseman Richter.
E on 4.
E4 and Harrison reaches on the air, but the Royals do get the run, and they even up this game at 6-6.
Man, that's tough on a pitcher. I mean, that's a routine ground ball there.
Yeah, and
errors
that
could really kill you.
Yeah, that ball did not take a bad bounce.
No, it just went right through his glove.
I kind of got a feeling that maybe what Richter was doing on this, Perry, and I may not be right, maybe he was looking at home and trying to see if he might have a play at home. But Drosty had taken off with the crack of the bat.
You know, Olson, for a right-hander, has a pretty good move over
Yes,
first.
he does. Well, he's got, one or two pickoffs already today over there. There's a ground ball to third. Van Remortel scoops it up over to first. That's the second out of the inning. And on the play, Brayton Harrison ends up at second. So Jake Houston is retired for the second out. Matthew Buckingham steps in. He's grounded out twice so far in this game.
The second and short.
Got a runner in scoring position here. Got a lot of space in left center field for Mr. Buckingham. Pick-off play at second. He's back. Richter was playing well off the bag, and he just sprinted right for that base. Shortstop Brooks is playing almost right behind the runner. The Greyhounds are giving the Royals a lot of space between the shortstop and the third baseman. They are definitely playing Buckingham to hit to the right side. Another ball, 2 balls, no strikes. We're tied up here in the top of the 5th. 2-0 on Matthew Buckingham.
I think he's going to make a change.
And out comes the Carmel coaching staff, and yes, we are going to get a change here. So you are watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Be sure to check out this calendar for upcoming events. Hamilton County HC TV calendar.com. It includes all high school and local events. If you have an event, add it to our calendar. It's easy, it's free. Hamilton County Community Calendar. It's been around since 1995. HCTVcalendar.com.
One of the great free features here in Hamilton County, and one of our Hamilton County television staffers, Katie, she put that whole thing together, did a heck of a good job for us here.
Absolutely.
So we've got, it looks like that's number 17, Drew Harding, coming in to pitch for the Greyhounds. Have you got any information on young Mr. Harding?
He's appeared in 10 games this season. His ERA is 1.70. He's pitched 12.1 innings, given up 6 hits and only given up 3 runs, 9 strikeouts. He's faced 50 batters, and so he's no stranger here on the mound. He's a junior.
Drew Olson still responsible for the runner at third. Olson cannot pick up a win in this game. He could end up picking up a loss if the runner for the Royals, that being Brayden Harrison, scores and the Greyhounds do not go ahead or tie again. So we can't quite close the book on Olson quite yet, because he'll be responsible for Buckingham and for Brayton Harrison. 2-0 on Harrison. That one hits the lower outside corner, strike 1. Always a good feeling for that pitcher, getting that first pitch over the plate. Got that pump of adrenaline going. That one hits the inside corner of the plate at the knees, evens the count up in 2-2. It's always interesting to watch how the coaches change their philosophy a little bit different when it comes to sectionals, knowing it could be a one and done.
Well, just like I said earlier, it's a sprint now.
Yep, pulling all the stops out. That one is high and outside, full count on Matthew Buckingham.
Because there's no need to save, okay? Because if you don't win, you're going to go home.
Yeah.
And right now, both these coaches are in that situation, that very situation.
Foul tip straight back. Of course, the other thing about this is Wednesday, and the next game is not until next Monday.
That's true.
So you've got 5 days off, but you're faced, the winner of this game could be faced with playing a doubleheader on playing 2 games on Monday.
But I think most teams, the way they play their schedule, especially with
they're
us,
used to that.
They're kind of used to that.
Ball 4. So Buckingham reaches on the walk. That's going to bring up Jake Garcia. He is 2 for 2 so far today, 2 base hits.
You know, Brad, early on, and when those teams go down south and things like that, or play in tournaments, and play those 2 games. In the Noblesville Invitational, they play 2 games in one day, and that's a prep time for them to get ready for sectional time.
Well, and I've often thought that those trips, whether they go to Kentucky, Tennessee, or wherever the teams end up going, it's not only the competition they're going for, it's the team building.
Oh, absolutely.
When the kids get to spend 2, 3, 4 days all together and really get to know each other well, know what makes each, know
and
what
I'll tell you what,
Brad,
Craig and I went, I guess it's been about 3 years ago with Noblesville down south, East Tennessee, and we got really close to that team.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot of.
It's a fun time. Get to know the players, the parents.
Oh yeah.
The 1-1 pitch, nice slow curveball over the outside corner of the plate. Harding's ahead of Garcia, 1-2. We're in the top of the 5th. We're all tied up at 6-6. 2 outs, 2 on for the Royals. 1-2 on Jacob Garcia. Swing and a foul. He stays alive. Just managed to get a little piece of that one. So both of our starting pitchers are out of the game. That one's a little bit low. Moves it to a full count on Garcia. Garcia can come through with a single here. Probably gives the Royals the lead back. Strike 3 called over the inside corner. So in the top of the 5th for the Royals, there were 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 left on the bases in the middle of the 5th. It's the Hamilton Southeastern Royals 6, the Carmel Greyhounds 6. You're watching the IHSA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau. Fans, don't just hope you're covered in the event of an accident. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Celebrating over 25 years, Logan Street Signs and Banners, specializing in that last-minute signage and banners. Serving Noblesville, Hamilton County since 1992. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 or visit them on their website, loganstreetsigns.com.
Well, Perry, here's how things shape up for this game right now. The winner of this game will come back on Monday morning at 10 a.m. to play the 3rd game of the sectional, and they'll be playing the winner of the Noblesville Westfield game, which will start about a half hour, 45 minutes after we conclude this game. And then at about 12:30, 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, it will be the Fishers Tigers and the North Central Panthers. So the championship game will then come up Monday night. I can't remember if it's 7 or 7:30.
7 p.m.
7 p.m. And we'll have all of those games here on Hamilton County Television and IHSAATV.org, the IHSAA Champions Network. Jackson Adams steps in to open up the bottom of the 5th for the Greyhounds. Takes the first pitch outside at the knees for strike 1. Just barely hit that outside corner. That one's a little farther outside. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 pitch. That one's a little too far outside. Rutger Pori in his 2nd inning of work. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 2-2. Pori came in at the end of the
got the last
4th
out.
inning, got the last out, got Jack Van Remortel to strike out. That's a big out.
That was a big out.
That was a huge out because there were 2 batters left on base there. That one's a little bit outside. Full count on Jackson Adams. Last thing the Royals want to do here is put the leadoff batter on. They've done that every inning except 1 so far in this game. That one's low and outside, and the Greyhounds have got the leadoff batter on base. Right field Evan Petruzzi steps in. Officially 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Did score the first run of the 4th inning, the first of 4 runs that the Greyhounds scored last inning. That one's fouled back into the fence. Greyhounds put 4 across in the bottom of the 4th to take a 6-4 lead. Royals came right back with 2 in the top of the 5th to tie it up. That's where we're at right now in the bottom of the 5th. There's a hot shot just to the outside of the Carmel, or the Carmel coaching staff there. A lot of people here in the stadium this afternoon. I think we got a lot of Westfield and Noblesville people
starting
arriving.
To get here, yeah.
Yeah. This game is just about 2 hours old, and we're in the bottom of the 5th. Been a long game.
Oh.
Did that hit him? I guess it did. I thought it bounced off of the catcher Runo, but apparently
I think it brushed him.
Yeah. Luke Barnes steps up. He has scored 2 of the 6 runs so far tonight for the Greyhounds. Reached on a fielder's choice and had a triple his last time up in the 4th inning.
Action in the Southeastern bullpen.
Sam Bachman is down there. Barnes only a 135 hitter, but he's been on base twice tonight and scored twice. He's the designated hitter, batting in the 7th spot. 1-0 on Barnes. There's a well-hit ball to center field. Anthony Eggers is over. He has got that one. Runner on second is advancing to third. That's Jackson Adams, and he makes it over to third. First out of the bottom of the 6th. Greyhounds got runners at the corner with 1 out. The catcher, number 20, Tanner Simmons, steps in. He's got the other triple. He's got a triple and a double so far tonight. Are we getting a... No, we're not getting a pinch. No, we are getting a pinch hitter. Ethan Pryor.
He's batting .235. He's had 17 plate appearances. 4 hits.
So Pryor will bat for the catcher, Tanner Simmons. That one gets away, but not far enough away for anybody to advance. Keep an eye on Petruzzi there on first base and see if he tries to take second. Bruno's had a pretty good arm throwing out the runners so far. Jackson Adams is over there on third, trying to break up this tie.
There he goes.
He got in safe.
I think he slid right under.
Yeah, it was a high throw. But an accurate throw. I mean, if it had been a little bit lower, he probably would have had it. So that sets the Greyhounds up with 2 runners in scoring position, 1 out, 1-0 on the pinch hitter, Ethan Pryor. He's also a catcher, so maybe we'll see him come into the game. Royals are in at all 4 positions now. That one hits the outside corner. 1-2 on Pryor. One out, 1-2 on Pryor. The pitch from Pori. That one's outside. Evens up the count at 2-2. Sam Bachman appears to be about ready down there in the Royals bullpen if he's needed. Pitch from Rutger Pori. Right back over the glove of Pori and right through the infield. That's going to score 2 runs. And the Greyhounds are going to take the lead back from the Royals. I think, to coin an old phrase, that ball just had a mind of its own and eyes of its own. So that base hit scores 2 runs.
Makes it 8-6.
That'll bring up the number 9 batter, Robbie Levine. First pitch to Levine, strike over the outside corner. Every Greyhound who has batted in this game has reached base at one time or another. 8-6. High pop up. That could be trouble. It's going foul, and it's not caught. Oh, my. Jacob Daftari almost got that on a dead run. Not much wind out there, so you can't say the wind blew it away.
No.
0-2 on Robbie Levine. Levine with a sacrifice in the second. Struck out in the second, but he reached on a passed ball. The 0-2 pitch to Levine. High, throw down to first, back in time.
Eight to 6, the Greyhounds are leading here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 out.
Ethan Pryor at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the batter, Robbie Levine. Swing and a miss. Levine goes down on strikes. Second out of the inning. Back to the top of the order for the Greyhounds. 6th batter already in this inning. Both runs have scored. The leadoff runner and the second runner got on via the walk and being hit by a batsman. Ethan Pryor scored both of those on a really fluky single right up the center of the field.
That went one side over the mound and switched to the other side by the time it got to second. So.
Yeah. Oh, 1 on J.D. Rogers. There's a little looper that's going to go in for a hit.
Nobody covering third.
Alert base running on that play by Ethan Pryor.
So that puts runners at the corner.
First and third, still 2 outs. Second hit of the inning.
That was a nice hit,
Brooks.
though.
That was out in no man's land, and the mistake the Royals made on that is they had they had the whole left side of the field going after that ball, and nobody stayed back at third base. If somebody would have stayed back at third, it would have been runners on first and second. That was going to be a hit one way or the other.
Oh, no, guys.
The run is going to score, but the third out, the third run of the inning does score before the third out is made. So in the fifth, there's 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left on the bases. You're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be back.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry-out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting.
Don't just hope you're covered in the event of an accident. Find agents in every Indiana county at infarmbureau.com. Your Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Well, Perry, every cotton picking time, we're getting some words out here between the 2 coaching staffs, and Corey Seitz is holding Scott Henson back. All of this is over what you would call a rather hard tag at first base. I don't think anybody's been ejected.
But it's going to have to calm this place down.
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah. This needs to be calm. There's no, there's no place for this. You understand in sports that emotions run high, but there is no place for this kind of activity, regardless of who your team is.
Yeah. Greg got there.
Greg Habeger, the athletic director from Hamilton Southeastern, out there, trying to calm the team down. Carmel coaching staff is still really yapping at one of the umpires there. I think they're asking for the ejection of first baseman Grayson Drosty. They just won't back off. Let's just back off and play ball, boys.
Coach Henson was a little fired up there, though. Of course, he was protecting his players and
Sure.
things being said about it. You could see kind of on both sides, but let's play ball. That's what it's about. This is a game.
Well, let's just hope that this is over now,
Yeah,
Perry.
yeah. Let's keep an eye on down here.
Let's just hope it's over, and the players don't get any other ideas. We just don't need that. There's just no room for that in this particular venue. So we're moving to the top of the 6th inning. The 9-1-2 batters will come up for the Royals. They're facing Drew Harding. Caden Runo fouls the first pitch back for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
0-2 on the batter.
Runo Bruno was called out on runner's interference his last time up for running inside the baseline. One ball, two strikes on the junior catcher. Fouled off to the right. One and two on Bruno.
Ooh.
That one's high and inside. Evens a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Royals and the Greyhounds. Greyhounds are ahead by 3 here in the top of the 6th. That one's low, runs it to a full count. All of a sudden, we have no scoreboard. I guess we'll have to do it the manual way, Perry. We're at 3 and 2. Hot shot
hit
right over the outstretched glove of Jack Van Remortel. And Caden Runo, he's going to go for 2. Will there be a play? Not even close.
Throw.
And Runo is into second base, standing up with a stand-up double.
I'll tell you what, Bruno's played a heck of a ball game.
He sure has.
To come in here and, like you said, go out there and practice on Monday thinking, oh, well, this is just a regular day. I'm not going to see much action.
Zach Boyle is going to come in to run for him.
And now he's got 2 hits.
And
if he had to run inside the line, then he had 3.
Once again, the scoreboard is off here at Noblesville, so we'll have to keep track of everything the old manual way. That one's in there for strike. Strike 1 on Anthony Eggers. Now we're back. That one hits Eggers. That one was the curveball that just got away. It was not hit all that hard. So the Royals have got runners on first and second now. Here in the top of the 6th. Colda Whale represents the tying run coming up to the plate. Harding steps off. The Whale squares to bunt. That one's low. Simmons was looking to possibly throw down, but the runners had not moved far enough out. No outs, 2 on. We're in the top of the 6th. That one gets away. That one actually hit DeWale.
So that's a dead ball.
That's
Everybody advances.
That's 2 hit batters in a row. And the Royals have got the bases loaded. No outs. Grayson Drosty coming to the plate. The Greyhounds converging on the mound. Looks like they want to give a relief pitcher a little bit more time to warm up. I believe that is Aiden Bradbury, a sophomore, warming up down there in the bullpen.
He's pitched 27.1 innings this season.
Drosty was involved in that confrontation at first base. So let's
see what happens here.
Let's see what happens here. We hope nothing happens. That one's high and foul. Will it stay in the park? No, it's out. Just a foul ball strike. Royals down by 3, no outs, but the bases are loaded here in the 6th inning. This game has just kind of gone back and forth, Perry. That's why you play 7 innings, right?
All right.
The 0-1 pitch to Drosty. He drives that one. That one's going to be foul down over the bullpen. Drosty's in the hole 0-2. Drosty right up over the plate there. That one's low and outside. A ball and 2 strikes on the first baseman, Grayson Drosty.
That view from center field's a pretty good view, you know.
It certainly is. I've always liked that. Gives you as a viewer a good perspective on what's going on in the game. The 1-2 pitch to Drosty. There's a hot shot. That's a fair ball. That's going to score probably at least 2 and maybe 3. Corey Seitz over there at third. He's waving the third runner in. Will there be a play at the plate?
No.
Wow. The Royals have tied it up on a base-clearing triple by Grayson Drosty. Wow. What a turn of events in this game, Perry. This thing just keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And man, oh, man.
We're tied up here, Brad.
We sure are. 2 hits so far this inning. 2 batters hit also.
So actually 4 hits, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Technically there is. Carmel coaching staff coming out as Jacob Daftari comes up, and we are going to have another pitching change here. And let me remind you, before we hear a word from our friends at Noblesville Trophies, that you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with that same-day service for those last-minute decisions. Contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out on their website, noblesvilletrophies.com.
So the call to the bullpen has gone in. The Greyhounds are going to bring in number 13, Aiden Bradbury.
Yeah. He's pitched 27.1 innings so far this season. He's made 11 appearances. He's 2-3 on the season with a ERA of 4.87. He's struck out 29 and given up 35 hits and 26 runs. He's a sophomore.
I got to tell you, Perry, if you're a baseball purist, you're probably not real enthused with this game. But if you like a game that's had a lot of scoring and a lot of running and a lot of action, this is your game. This has just been one whale of a game. 18 runs, 13 hits,
There's
7
been some good
errors
hits
so far. Yeah,
there's been some great hits, some great plays, and not so great plays.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm a baseball purist, but this has been quite a ball game here.
It has. It's been a whale of a game, and it's one of those that keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's probably one of those that you really wish you were the home team and going to have the last at bat, because how many times have we seen in athletics the last possession wins the game?
Yep.
So we're going to get back to action here momentarily. The new pitcher for the Greyhounds, Aiden Bradbury. He'll be facing Jacob Daftari. Daftari swings at the first one and fouls it back over the right field stands.
He's flown out to right field, walked, and flown out to center.
Hot shot, line drive, right
Nice.
back to the glove of the shortstop of Alex Brooks. A nice play by Brooks. Heads up running on the part of Grayson Drosty, because he's leaning any farther, and he could have been doubled off there at second base.
That's a
First out of the inning. Royals still with a chance to take the lead here if Brayton Harrison can come through. He's reached on an error twice and grounded out to short. First pitch is high for ball one. The 1-0 pitch to Harrison.
Bachman's back down warming up, Brad.
Bradbury looked over toward first over his shoulder and discovered he didn't have a runner over there, then faked a throw over to second. The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big swing there. Greyhounds playing Harrison straight away. Not real deep in the outfield. Count is knotted up at 1-1. Foul ball makes it 1-2. Had bright sunshine all afternoon. But now, Perry, you've got the effect of the shadows. The pitcher is actually in the shadows, which actually gives him an advantage over the batter. The batter's got to adjust his eyesight to going from the shade into the sun. Harrison swings and misses for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jake Houston.
Houston reached on an error by the shortstop in the first inning and scored. Flied out to center field and third to first on a ground ball.
Houston checks his swing. Ball one. They're appealing it to the first base umpire. He says it was not a swing. The 1-0 pitch. That one hits the lower outside corner of the plate, evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. A runner on second. We are all tied at 9 apiece here in the top of the 6th. That one almost bounces in. Simmons made a nice stop on that, Perry. That ball very easily could have gotten by him. Two and one on Houston. There's a little nubber that the second baseman, Will Richter, is going to take, and that is going to retire the side. So in the top of the 6th, the Royals put 3 runs across on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on the bases. We are in the middle of the 6th. We are all tied up at 9-9. And you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take 1 of everything.
Oh, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting.
We're back here at Dunker Field at Hazeldale Elementary School, the home field of the Noblesville Millers. They will be taking on the Westfield Shamrocks here shortly, about 25-30 minutes after this game ends, and we hope that you'll stay with us. It's going to be a late night tonight, Perry, but boy, so far we've seen some good baseball here.
Absolutely.
For the Royals now, Sam Bachman is in pitching. Bachman has been used in both a starting and a relief role for the Royals.
He's actually pitched the most inning. No, I'm sorry, Pori has. But Bachman comes in here, a senior, pitched 30.2 innings, and he's given up 27 hits and 21 runs and struck out 41.
The Greyhounds will have the 2, 3, and 4 batters in their order coming up here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll be Alex Brooks, Will Richter, and Jack Van Remortel.
Beautiful night for baseball, Brad. You can't beat that.
Absolutely, positively. Pitcher definitely in the shadows now. Sam Bachman steps off. Tough assignment for the batters now when they're in that bright sun trying to catch that ball. Yeah, because
you can see it really on the catcher's cam there. Their bodies are in the sun where the pitcher is not in the sun. So it's really, really prevalent right there.
First pitch misses outside to Brooks. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a well-hit ball to right field. Cole DeWale is there, makes the play for the first out. Only the second time in this game that the Greyhounds have not put the leadoff batter on base in an inning. Second baseman Will Richter steps in. 2 for 3 on the night, a couple singles and a fly out. There's a nice curveball to Richter for strike 1. We're in the bottom of the 6th, all tied up at 9. That one's across the plate, but a little bit low. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just about 10 minutes before 8 o'clock here on Wednesday evening.
Bachman's throwing pretty well here.
Yeah, a ball and 2 strikes.
This has to be really tough on a left-handed batter up here.
Oh, yeah, because they're looking at, they got that sun right in their eyes, too.
Ooh,
that one's close inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch coming to Richter. That one hits the corner of the plate for called strike 3. Bachman has come in and really taken control of this game. Let's see how he reacts to Jack Van Remortel here, Perry.
Yeah.
Van Remortel has reached 1 time today. He's officially 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short. Reached on a walk in the 3rd inning.
We kind of kept him a little bit in check, you know. To be
they have.
The type of hitter like he is, anytime you can keep him off the bases and keep him from getting extra base hits is a big, big plus for you.
Bachman blows strike 1 right by him.
Of course, he's a threat every time he comes to that plate.
Oh, yeah.
One big swing, and he's...
Hot shot into the fans over on the right side. Van Remortel is down in the count at 0-2. 9-9. Bottom of the 6th. Sectional 8. Class 4A baseball. Royals and the Greyhounds. Bachman wastes a pitch out there. Makes it 1-2. One-two pitch. Well, Bachman steps off. Van Remortel does the same thing. He steps out momentarily. Looks like they're both ready now. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. High heat.
Wow.
And the Greyhounds go 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. Through 6, 9-9. The Royals and the Greyhounds. We'll be back after this message from one of our sponsors. Welcome back to Dunker Field. First game of the IHSAA 4A Sectional 8, featuring the Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the Carmel Greyhounds. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, regardless of where you're watching. If you're watching on the IHSAA Champions Network, if you're watching on Hamilton County Television, or if you're watching on one of the many social media.
Absolutely.
How many of those have we got now?
We got YouTube, we got Periscope, Twitter, Facebook. You can watch it on your Roku. You can watch it on Apple TV. I mean,
a lot of places to watch it. Royals have got the 7, 8, and 9 batters coming up here in the top of the 7th. Matthew Buckingham leads off, taking strike 1.
He's grounded out to second, grounded out to short, and walked the last time up.
Buckingham's in the hole at 0-2. Second inning of work for Aiden Bradbury. Jake Garcia is on deck. That one's a little bit inside. A ball and 2 strikes on Matthew Buckingham. Bradbury with a big windup. Buckingham finally calls timeout. That one's low, evens the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs, we're in the top of the 7th. Royals hoping to put a run or 2 across here and take the lead back. This has been a seesaw battle all game long. Ooh. That one's high and inside, makes it a full count. Buckingham's worked it from 0-2 to 3-2. The full count pitch from Bradbury. Swing and a miss. Had a good swing. He had a good swing at that, a good pitch to hit, but he just could not catch up with it. Going to have a pinch hitter for the Royals. This will be number 28, Cam Bowling. Bowling batting for Jake Garcia. Carmel coaching staff setting their defense. Big gap in left center field again.
Yeah. Looking ahead a little bit here for the Greyhounds coming up here in the bottom of the 7th will be batters 5, 6, and 7. So
foul tip off the bat of Cam Bowling. Bowling's a .273 hitter. That one misses, evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Greyhounds trying to hold the Royals scoreless here. Royals trying to take the lead. There's another foul ball back, 1-2. Since Bradbury's come in, he and Bowling have both done a good job of getting ahead of the hitters.
Absolutely.
Greyhounds have got another pitcher warming up down there. The 1-2 pitch to Bowling. There's a high fly ball into right field, shallow right field. Petruzzi is under it to get the out. So there's 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring up Caden Runo, the catcher. I cannot read the number of the player warming up for the Greyhounds down there. That gold number on the back of the white uniform is a little bit hard to read.
Tony. Can you see that number?
Runo takes the first pitch outside. 1-0 on Caden Runo. Scored 2 runs so far today. Big swing and a miss, evens up the count at 1-1. Probably Will Richter out there, number 7, I believe.
I think that's what Richie just said.
That one's low. 2-1 on Runo.
Thank you, Richie.
Richie Hall from the
Hamilton County
reporter sitting over our shoulders here.
Keeping us straight.
Watching over us, and we need it.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Big swing by Runo there. He was almost on base 3 times in this game, but second time he got called out on runner interference for running inside of the first base line. Been a little bit of controversy in this game. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Runo goes down, and the Royals are out in the top of the 7th inning. So in the top of the 7th for the Royals, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left in the bases. Middle of the 7th, score remains Royals 9, Carmel Greyhounds 9. Fans, you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing health care services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or on their website at ecommunity.com. Well, Brad, we're in the bottom of the 7th here, tied up 9-9.
You know, I remember as a child growing up in Chicago, and Jack Brickhouse was the voice of the Cubs for so many years. His famous saying in the bottom of the 9th was, any old kind of a run wins it. And that's
so
exactly
true.
the situation that the Carmel Greyhounds have right now. And they're going to be sending their 5, 6, and 7 batters up to the plate. That being Jackson Adams, Evan Petrucci, and Luke Barnes. And those 3 batters have scored 5 of the 9 runs for the Greyhounds.
You know, that's the amazing thing. The bottom of the order has scored all but 1 run.
Yes, yeah, they have. The only one to score in the top 4 is
Brooks.
So Jackson Adams steps in.
It's definitely the key right here, though, Brad, is they're wanting to get a man on the base.
Yeah, and the Royals just can't afford to put that first runner on base. Both of these teams have played hard enough to deserve to win this game today. There's a well-hit ball. If that stays fair, that could be the game. It is a foul ball.
Wow. Boy, he got it all, too.
When that left the bat.
You could tell, man.
I didn't feel quite as bad about it for the Royals when I saw Matt Buckingham running across the foul line. He was running and thinking maybe he might have a play on that ball. I don't know if that got out of the stadium or not, but I lost it in the shadows.
They just threw it back in. So
0-1 on Adams.
But that was a heck of a swing there.
Yeah. The way that ball took off,
it was like shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, if he had not gotten out in front of that ball, this game would be over with a walk-off.
Time. See, and that's what you're supposed to do right there, yeah. It's not how the catcher's supposed to get it back to you, but we're bouncing it.
A ball and a strike on Jackson Adams. That one's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on the leadoff batter Adams here in the top of the 7th.
If we get Adams on, do we try to get somebody with speed on? Yeah. Running for him, you think? Or
I've got to believe that they're going to pull every stop out that they can get.
Yeah.
3 balls and a strike on Jackson Adams.
This is crunch time here.
I think Sam Bachman's a little tentative right now with the way he pounded that first pitch.
Yeah,
and,
I don't think he's
had the potential of putting it out of here. The 3-1 pitch over the outside corner of the plate, full count.
You know, the one thing about it, Adams is only a 231 hitter. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, okay? I mean,
yeah, he's reached on an error and on a walk so far today. Did strike out in the third inning. That's well hit into center field. That's going to be beyond the reach of Anthony Eggers.
He's going to get 3.
And
he's going to hold him up.
He's going to hold up at second. I think if the situation in the game were a little bit different, Perry, I think they probably might have waved him on to third.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely. But, you know, there's no outs. You're in the bottom of the ninth.
And what's the golden rule of baseball? You don't want to make the first out at third base.
No. And the other thing, too, is that, you know, coaches got to know that this is where he's got his runs at the bottom of this order tonight.
Yeah. The Royals infield is pulled in. Got to believe that Evan Petruzzi is going to be bunting here, trying to get Adams down to third base. They're willing. Absolutely. They're more than willing to give up the out to get Adams down to third base. Sets up for the bunt. Bunt's foul.
Bad.
That looked more like a softball slapper than a bunt.
The bad part about it, Petruzzi being a left-handed hitter, he's got the sun right in his eyes.
And that
so
ball,
the advantage is to the pitcher right now.
And that ball is coming out of the sun right at the top of the pitcher of the home plate circle.
Yeah.
0-1 on Petruzzi.
He's coming.
Swing and a miss. 0-2. Jacob Daftari, he came sprinting in from second base.
Man, that dude, back. You know, and he swung. If he'd have connected.
The second baseman and shortstop, they're falling back to normal depth now. Well, swing and a miss. Petruzzi is down swinging.
They got to try to keep.
That'll bring up the designated hitter, Luke Barnes. Barnes has been on base twice, once on a fielder's choice, once on a triple. Perry, any kind of a base hit here right now probably wins this game. Flew out to center field his last time up. There's a strike called. Sam Bachman and the Royals have got their work cut out for him here in the bottom of the seventh with that leadoff double by Jackson Adams. Another nice curveball for strike 2. Once again, the infield backs up to just about normal depth. Although Harrison is playing almost at the edge of the grass. That one's a little high and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Luke Barnes. Catcher Tanner Simmons is in the on-deck circle. Simmons hoping he doesn't have to bat here. Barnes hoping the same thing, hoping he can get a hit. Hot shot to first base, bobbled by the first baseman Drosty, but he does recover in time to get the second out. But on the play, Jackson Adams moves up, and he's 90 feet away from ending this game.
Well, you know, you can't have any better hitter at the plate right now than Tanner Simmons. I mean, he's got a triple, a double. If he hits a home run, he hits a cycle, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's had a whale of a game. You know, I was going to say I think that's a wise move on the part of the Royals coaching staff to put him on base. Because putting him on base sets up the force at second also.
I think he's probably going to put a pinch runner in for the catcher.
I don't know if we'll see a pinch runner, but I'm assuming we're going to see a pinch batter here because the runner at first at this point means almost nothing. The Greyhounds are going to bring Drew Kelly up to the plate. Kelly, a junior. Do we have a pinch runner at first now?
No, he left.
I
left Simmons there.
I didn't think we did. Tough assignment here for Drew Kelly.
He's had 42 at bats, so it's not like he's a brand new.
Swing and a miss, and on the play, Simmons takes second base.
But obviously that run means nothing.
Yeah, that's irrelevant. They only need one to win this thing, and there was absolutely no way they were going to throw through on that.
Uh-oh.
Strike two on Drew Kelly. Leadoff double by Jackson Adams. He is advanced to third on an infield out. Swing and a miss, and we are going to go to extra innings here at Dunker Field. In the bottom of the seventh for the Greyhounds. No runs, one hit, no errors, two runners left on base. Fans, you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. We'll be back after this message.
Can I help you?
Yeah. I'm looking for Logan Street signs and banners.
You found us.
But this ain't Logan Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
You're telling me that Logan Street signs and banners isn't on Logan Street anymore?
Exactly.
So what are you saying?
Logan Street signs and banners conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street and
Welcome back to Dunker Field on the campus of Hazeldell Elementary School. Sectional 8, Class 4A baseball on Hamilton County Television, also on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Farm Bureau Insurance. We are officially through 7 innings. We are all tied up at 9-9. So, Perry, we just almost kind of clear the scoreboard and start over at this point. Lafayette Harrison has beat Lafayette Jeff up at Kokomo. Royals will send the top of the order up in the top of the 8th inning. That'll be Anthony Eggers leading off. Eggers was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. Scored one of the 3 runs the Royals scored in the top of the 6th. We've actually only had 2 of the 7 innings, Perry, that we have not had any scoring in. That being the 1st and the 7th inning.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. First pitch from Bradbury, right over the outside corner of the plate, strike one. If you're tuning in looking for Noblesville and Westfield, you're a little early. We're in extra innings here between the Royals and the Greyhounds. Eggers takes a big cut, follows that one straight back. Count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Bradbury. That one's high and outside. 1-2.
Well, the one thing about it, Brad, in this extra inning here, both teams will have the top of their orders up.
Yep.
So.
The 1-2 pitch. Eggers thought about going. He did not go. Evens a count at 2-2.
Catcher's Simmons having a tough time getting the signals with that sun.
Yeah, the sun is right in his eyes. There's a high pop-up off to the right side in foul territory.
Play.
Levine is chasing it, but it's out of play.
Because he's looking over there, and they're in the shade in the dugout, and he's in the sun looking over there.
Well, officially, sunset tonight is at 8:59 p.m., so we got about 45 more minutes of sunlight. The 2-2 pitch to Eggers. Fouled back. He stays alive.
That's a way to get the ball back, right?
Mm-hmm. Took the bounce off of the pole out there and went right back halfway down third baseline.
Umpire wants to probably check that ball, though.
Make sure it didn't get scratched up too bad. We had a very well called game tonight by the umpires, too. They've done a great job. Another 2-2 pitch coming to Anthony Eggers. Another foul ball straight back.
We need some balls, guys. The umpire's saying we need some balls. Here it comes. One from the southeastern side.
I'm sure Tony Euler's got quite a stash of balls sitting back there.
I think they're right behind us here.
Yeah. Another 2-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Eggers staying alive. Aiden Bradbury doing a good job of challenging him.
Yeah, he is. I feel sorry for Tanner Simmons trying to get those signals there.
He needs some of those new X-ray sunglasses.
That's right.
There's a hot shot down
That's
first base. That's right over the first baseman's glove, and that's going to go for a two-base hit. We'll have to see what they call that. I think I would call that a hit, Barry.
Oh, most definitely. There ain't no doubt about that.
So the Royals, just like the Greyhounds did in the bottom of the seventh, have put the lead runner on base with a double.
And that's Eggers' first hit of the game?
Yeah. They've got 7 hits in the scoreboard. I've got him for 8. Coldy Whale steps up. The Whale had a sacrifice bunt earlier in this game. I've got to believe he's going to be bunting.
Yeah.
Stolen base. No, it was not a stolen base. I'm sorry. Okay, that's
Game Changer did score a double. So.
Okay, that's what I thought it would be.
Of course, this is Southeastern's Game Changer I'm following too. So.
Eggers on second. DeWale at first, throw back to second. He is back in time.
That's a pretty good play right there, you know. Shortstop breaking off like he's going to, cover, get back to his spot, and the second baseman slips in there.
Eggers collected his first hit of the game, but he's been hit by a pitch and reached on a fielder's choice. He's already scored twice tonight. Right down third base, that one goes foul. 0-2 now.
They definitely they're going to go to third here. He needs to hit it down at first base line.
Yeah, Alex Brooks, as soon as Jack Van Remortel starts breaking in.
Yeah, he's gone to third.
Brooks goes right, Brooks goes right to third base as Van Remortel is coming in.
And with that arm Van Remortel's got,
Yeah.
That's a cannon that's sitting over there.
0-2 on Coldy Whale. Another throw back. Ooh, that one almost got away.
Fans, don't be confused here. There is another game here tonight. You are not seeing Westfield and Noblesville out on the field right now. We're still in the first game and extra innings. Inning number 8, score tied 9-9. So
we've been playing this game 2 hours and 50 minutes already with all the hits and all the runs and all the errors. A long,
squabbles.
Long game, yeah. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss by DeWale. He's retired. First out of the inning for the Royals.
But the key person is Eggers down there on second base.
Grayson Drosty steps in for his 4th at bat of the night.
Go put him on. Go for the double.
That'll bring up Jacob Daftari. Daftari's got a sacrifice, a walk, a fly out, and a line out to the shortstop. Royals hoping to get a run here in the 8th. Daftari hits that one right between second and third. They're sending him home. Could be a play at the plate. It's wide, and both runners are going to end up on second and third. So the Royals score the go-ahead run. Anthony Eggers scores the run. Grayson Drosty advances from first to third. And Jacob Daftari, we're going to give him a base hit and give him second on the throw. So the Royals have taken the lead now, 10-9 here in the top of the 8th. And that'll bring Brayton Harrison to the plate.
They're going to put him on.
Runners at first and second. Harrison takes the intentional walk, and Jake Houston steps in. Second intentional walk of the inning. The Greyhounds hoping for a double play here to keep this down to a 1-run lead to get it down to the bottom of the 8th. The Royals would like nothing better than to score at least 1 or 2 more runs here before the end of this inning. Swing and a miss by Houston.
Now catcher's going to have a little bit better life now.
Yeah, the entire infield is now in the shadows, and you can actually see the lights starting to have some effect on the field.
Yeah, because you can see how clear our field is now from the center field camera.
0-1 on Jake Houston. Swing and a miss at a high ball out of the zone. Jake a little bit anxious on that one, Perry.
A little anxious.
The bases are loaded with 1 out. Royals trying to put a couple more runs on the board. The Greyhounds trying to stop the bleeding here and keep it to a 1-run game. Houston swings and misses. He took 2 very bad swings there, Perry.
Yes, he sure did.
That'll bring Matthew Buckingham to the plate. Buckingham did reach base 1 time in this game with a walk. Struck out swinging to start the 7th. He was grounded to the infield twice. Bradbury gets his sign from Simmons. Buckingham calls for time. Royals wanting to get some more runs here. Greyhounds hoping for out number 3 to keep it close. There's a strike right over the outside corner of the plate to Matthew Buckingham.
I'm certain that the Royals want to get at least 1 more run too.
Yeah. That one's low, evens the count at 1-1. It's been a rough season for the Royals so far this year, Perry, and they've had some games that they made some mistakes in that they probably could have won. But then also playing in that Hoosier Crossroad Conference, the caliber of competition is just unreal in that conference. We see it every week. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matthew Buckingham. That one hits the outside corner of the plate. He's in the hole at 1-2. Bradbury doing a pretty good job of keeping composed here. Fans on both sides of the stadium urging their team on. The 1-2 pitch. There's a little line drive. Is that going to fall in there? Yes, it does, and the Royals are going to score 2 more runs. Just a little Texas leaguer there over the head of Will Richter by Matthew Buckingham, and the Royals score 2 more runs. That brings in Grayson Drosty and Jacob Daftari, and Brayton Harrison ends up on third. So the Royals have got a 3-run lead now, and Jake Garcia re-enters the game. He had been lifted earlier for a pinch hitter. For Cam Bowling as a pinch hitter earlier in the game. Third hit, third run of the inning. The Royals now with 12 runs, 9 hits. Jacob Garcia at the plate for the Royals. That one's high and outside. Runs down to, Buckingham takes second, but the throw actually ends up going down to third. Harrison was not that far off the base, but Jack Van Remortel did a great job of getting the tag on him. Royals now with 2 runners in scoring position, a 1-0 count on Garcia. That one's high, 2-0. I think Bradbury might be just a little bit shaken up by what's transpired here in the inning. Anthony Eggers led it off with a 2-base with a double. Grayson Drosty, or rather Cole DeWale, struck out. Grayson Drosty was walked. Jacob Daftari got a single. Brayton Harrison was walked. Houston struck out. Matthew Buckingham put 2 more runs in with a single. That one's low, making the count 3-0. Caden Runo is due to bat next, the catcher. That one gets away, but that's ball 4. So Garcia walks on 4 pitches. And that's going to bring the Carmel coaching staff out, and we are going to get another pitching change here, Perry. So while we get that pitching change, let me remind you that you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
From personal injury claims to complex business litigation to divorce cases, Church, Hidland, Antrim protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Maryville, and Tipton. You can contact their Noblesville office at 317-773-5320.
Well, we're going to have some other changes here, Perry. It looks like number 15, Drew Olson, is back out on the field. I believe the new pitcher for the Greyhounds is going to be number 7, Will Richter.
Yeah, and he's pitched 13.1 innings, give up 11 hits, 11 runs, and has struck out 16.
A side armor. I did see
He's been in 8 ball games.
I did see Drew Olson come out onto the field, and let's see where he's going to go. So we are in the top of the 8th. The Royals have already scored 3 runs on 3 hits. The bases are loaded with 2 outs. Caden Runo, the catcher, is up. Did you see where 15 went to by any chance? Did he go to second base or first base? I think he stayed in the infield. Looks like he might have gone to second base. First pitch coming to Runo. from Richter. Swing and a miss, strike one. That does look like Drew Olson out there at second base. Swing and a miss, strike two. Don't see too many of the side armors around anymore, do you, Perry?
No, not at all. Boy, it's tough to pick it up if you're really good at it.
Yeah. The 0-2 pitch. Time is called. Coming up at 8:30 here. The third pitch. That one hits Runo, and the Royals are going to get another run. Brayton Harrison will touch the plate for the fourth run of the inning. That one got him right in the, I don't know if it got him in the knee, but it got him near the knee. And Zach Boyle is going to come in to pinch run for Caden Runo. Sam Bachman down in the Royals bullpen just trying to keep loose with the length of this inning.
Yeah.
That'll bring Anthony Eggers back up. He started this inning with a double. 10th batter of the inning for the Royals. That one's outside. So Will Richter moved in from second base to the pitcher's mound. Drew Olson went out to second base for the Greyhounds. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. We are in the top of the 8th inning. The Royals have taken a 4-run lead here in the 8th with 13 runs, 9 hits. Greyhounds have got 9 runs, 8 hits. That one hits the corner of the plate. Eggers is down 1-2 in the count. That one bounces in. Good stop there by Simmons. That ball gets by him, and the Royals have gotten run number 5 in this inning.
13-9, the Royals are leading here in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, it isn't over yet, Perry, because the Greyhounds bring up the
top
top of the order.
Yeah.
But the bottom of the order is who's done more damage for the Greyhounds tonight in this game.
Yep.
It's going to be a long night. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The bases are loaded. Top of the 8th, the Royals ahead now by 4. The pitch from Richter misses high. Full count.
This is always tough on the two teams that are playing the next game, too.
Yeah.
Because they've already went through the warm-up set.
Ball 4. Eggers reaches on a walk, and the Royals get another run. 5 runs in the inning now. That'll put Matthew Buckingham across the plate, move Jacob Garcia over to third, and Zach Boyle, who is running for Caden Runo, rather, he goes over to second. Cole DeWale comes up for his second time in this inning. He struck out for the first out of this inning. 14-9, the Royals over the Greyhounds. There's a hot shot right through the middle. That's going to score at least 1. They're holding, they held Boyle at third, but on the play, Garcia scores. So the Royals now have scored 6 runs in this game. That's that's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits so far in this inning. 10 hits for the Royals.
That's the third hit for Dorsett, too. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, for DeWale.
Oh, yeah.
Grayson Drosty, who was intentionally walked in his last time at bat in this inning, steps in. 1-0 on him. There's a ground ball, easy play over to the shortstop, and the Royals are finally retired here in the top of the 8th. But in the top of the 8th, the Royals score 5 times on 4 hits, no errors, 3 men left on the bases. Perry, before we go to the bottom of the 8th here, let's just take a moment and thank all the people that made this broadcast possible tonight. Our fine Hamilton County television crew, Jim Wofford at the controls, Lucas and Bill on the cameras, and the guys with the assistance of Rick Vanderweilen. We ended up getting the center field camera running and been able to bring you a great quality broadcast here. Also, all of our friends who are watching us on the IHSAA Champions Network. Great to have all of you guys with us tonight. And we've had one whale of a game here tonight. It's just been a great game. And we got another one to go.
That's right. And we got to thank our hosts here at Noblesville.
Yeah.
The diamond looks absolutely fabulous out here at Don Dunker Field, and Tony Euler and Leah Woolridge have done an excellent job.
They always help us so much.
Us so much.
How many times do one of us call them or email them and ask them for information? And the athletic office is so accommodating and so kind to us. Coach Keever has always had an open door for us, which is so greatly appreciated. But we thank everybody who's made this broadcast possible, and we thank especially you, the viewers, for watching this. It's a labor of love for Perry and I to bring this game to you. We just absolutely love doing this. It makes for long days for us, but it sure is fun. We're moving into the bottom of the 8th. The top 3 for the Greyhounds come up. Leadoff batter is J.D. Rogers. He takes the first pitch for a strike. Strike 1. Second pitch from Bachman. That's a nice curveball. Rogers is in the hole, 0-2. You can see a lot of disappointment on the faces of the Greyhound fans over here. See some anticipation on the part of the Royals fans, but they're just kind of
it's not over until it's over.
They are cautiously optimistic. That one goes a little bit inside to Rogers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sam Bachman back out there on the mound. He's the pitcher of record for the Royals right now, and he hits Rogers. Last thing in the world that Sam Bachman wanted to do
was base runner.
Yeah. Well, he didn't want to hit him either, much less put a base runner on. Number 2 batter in the order, Alex Brooks, comes in. Alex has scored 1 run, struck out twice, flown out to right field, reached on an error, and scored in the 4th inning. Greyhounds facing an uphill battle here. 1 ball, no strikes on Brooks. What did Yogi Berra used to say? It ain't over till it's over.
That's right. Like we said, this is the top of their batting order.
Yeah. 2-0 on Brooks. 6-run lead for the Royals. 15 runs, 10 hits. Royals have committed 4 errors. The Greyhounds have got 9 runs on 8 hits and 3 errors. So you can't, it's been a good game, Perry, but you can't call it a well-played game. The Royals have got another
23?
Pitcher loosening up down there. It's Michael Dillon loosening up. Maybe Bachman went out there a little bit too confident with a 6-run lead.
Well, also he's set for a long time, too. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt here, too.
But at least he doesn't have a cold day and shouldn't cramp up or something like that. That one's high, 3-0. There's a fastball at the knees, 3-1. I think with what the batters from the Greyhounds have seen so far, they're going to be content to make Bachman put the ball over the plate. There's a foul ball, brings it up to a full count at 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Royals put 6 across in the top of the inning. Greyhounds trying to come back from a 6-run deficit. The 3-2 pitch fouled off. Rogers took off with the pitch.
Full count here.
Another full count pitch.
Base
There's a hit into the gap. That one's going to go all the way to the wall, and that is going to score 1 run. And Brooks is going to be on second with a stand-up double. So the old saying, it ain't over until it's over, is so true. A run and a hit so far in the top of the 8th. Still no outs. That brings Will Richter up. Richter is 2 for 4. Michael Dillon would appear to be pretty near ready down there in the bullpen for the Royals. Will Richter, who is now the pitcher, there's another ground ball through the right side. That's not going to score another run. Royals get that back in quickly. So there is runners on the corners now with no outs.
And a big bat at the plate.
Do you intentionally walk him to load the bases to set up the double play? Because you've got to believe that Richter is going to be running anyways. I think I'd play the percentages here, Perry.
I think you're probably right, but I'm not sure they're going to do that. Nope.
Van Remortel is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He did reach on a walk. Bachman just having a little bit of trouble hitting the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes on Jack Van Remortel. It's always interesting, isn't it? They always got to make it interesting here at the end of the game. Fouled straight back, evens the count 1-1. 2 big batters here in a row, actually 2 of the 3, because Van Remortel's almost a 400 hitter. Adams at 232, and Petruzzi at 365. So you've got the heart of the Carmel order here in the next 3 batters. That one's a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Greyhounds have scored 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. That's a strike, evens it up at 2-2. Van Remortel did not like the call on that. He thought that was low and outside. But the home plate umpire has been calling that as a strike all night long. Big pitch and big out here if they can get by Van Remortel. Swing and a miss, got him.
Wow.
1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings Jackson Adams up. This bottom 5 in the Greyhound order has accounted for all but 2 of their runs.
And one of them just happened this inning.
Yeah. There's a high pop-up. That's going to be out of play. Jackson Adams down in the count, 0-1. Richter had taken off on the pitch and was down to second base. He'll probably be taking off on this pitch again. That one hits the outside corner, a ball, and rather 0-2 now.
And he didn't go. That surprised me because they wanted to break up that double play.
Yep. Bachman seems to be back in his groove now, Perry. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in a row for Sam Bachman.
He's reaching down, but there again, we're talking about it. He set 11 batters. I mean, that was a long inning, but.
Yeah, that brings up Evan Petruzzi, the right fielder. The Greyhounds looking for a miracle here. Petruzzi scored 2 runs. Does not have a hit tonight. Takes the first ball for strike 1. Oh and 1 on Petruzzi. 2 on, 2 out. That one's just a little bit low. Evens up the count at 1-1. These two teams had a 1 or a 2-run game back in April, Perry, that the Greyhounds managed to win. That one hits the outside corner.
Not sure why he's taking that pitch there.
That was a nice curveball.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and you got to swing the bat. You're not going to really, a walk's not going to really help you that much.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Evan Petruzzi.
Got him.
Swing and a miss. The game is over. The Hamilton Southeastern Royals come back, score 6 runs in the top of the 8th. And the Greyhounds come back and score 1 in the bottom of the 8th. The final score, Hamilton Southeastern Royals 15, Carmel Greyhounds 10. Perry, before we go, quickly, your thoughts on this game?
Well, definitely like you said, it wasn't a great game as far as play. There was a lot of errors and stuff. A lot of good plays, just a little bit, a little bit of everything in this baseball game. But Southeastern came out. That's a big win for them. The Greyhounds go home. That's what it's all about. And so
the Royals will live to play another day. They will play in the opening game on Monday at 10 a.m., either against Westfield or Noblesville. We'd like to thank all of you for watching tonight's broadcast of IHSAA Sectional 8 Baseball from Dunker Field here in Noblesville.
Keep in mind, we've got another ball game coming up here.
I was just going to mention that. We're on Hamilton County Television, presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners. Also, remember, you're watching the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by the Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Company. We'd like to thank our other great sponsors: Noblesville Trophies, Wofford Theater, the outdoor movie events, Community Health, Church Short Chittle and Antrim, Smith's Jewelers, and Indiana Restoration. We'll be back in just about a half an hour with game number 2 between the Noblesville Millers and the Westfield Shamrocks. Until we see you in a few minutes, this is Brad Silbert on behalf of Perry Williams. Have a good evening.